Welcome to Bourbon with Brad.
If you advise clients on AI, data, privacy, or cybersecurity law, you cannot afford to miss a development. And right now, developments are happening ever so quickly. Docket Daily tracks every AI, data, privacy, and cybersecurity legal development across all 50 states, D.C., and the federal government, and delivers to you every morning an updated, curated, attorney-reviewed digest. Proposed bills, enacted laws, regulations, court opinions, executive orders, every jurisdiction, every day, as well as the news headlines. Stop guessing what you missed. Start your free 2-week trial subscription today.
And we are back in the Bourbon Studios in Indiana, PA with an absolutely special national celebrity guest. We are so privileged to have you in Indiana, PA, Omar Periu.
Thank you, Brad. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Welcome. And,
welcome,
we got
Omar.
to enjoy bourbon last night together.
Yep.
Little teasers. You and I have known each other now for going on, what, you think, 6-8 months?
Yeah.
Yeah, through a mutual friend, Gary Arblaster, who's in the house too.
Yep.
Thanks for being here, Gary. Yes, and it's been a fun journey getting to know you. I mean, we worked on a project together, in the AI space, which is
it's amazing.
It is amazing, and you can attest for that with your background. And I'm going to let you kind of tell our listeners, your resume is so long, I could scroll it out like my tardiness in my senior year at high school, list. It's pretty impressive, the number of folks that you've spoken with on the main stage, the Hall of Fame accolades that you have in that honor, and your business mentoring, your 33 New York best-selling list books. And thank you for the book today.
Yeah. That's the latest, Money in Your Mindset.
I love it. That's a great.
I think you'll love it.
Yeah, that's a great title.
Yeah, no, I've been very blessed. I got the right mentors, and coming from Cuba, not speaking English, and got into the right things. I wasn't, no one was waiting for a Hispanic family in Joliet, Illinois.
Yeah,
but I met some great kids that taught me English, and did well in sports. So that kind of brought me out, sports and music.
Where is that in Illinois?
Joliet is like 45 minutes south or an hour from Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't live too far away from there when I was growing up. I lived right on the Savannah, Illinois, or Clinton border on the Mississippi there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in elementary school. I'm going way back now, so.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, a Midwestern boy by heart. Wisconsin, Iowa, that's where I came from.
Great people, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, so I'm there, and then did well in sports, so I made it to the Olympic trials in the 100-yard dash.
No way.
In fact, I tell this funny story. I still hold the record in my junior college and high school for the 100-yard dash. You know why? They went to 100 meters the next year. So I always hold that record.
Close enough, right?
So
I always rounded them together anyways.
I always hold that record. They can't change it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so anyway, so I got lucky, and my mother has a beautiful voice, soprano, and studied music. And
nice.
I went to SIUs. I didn't finish school. I was 6 months short. My father had a heart attack, lost everything, and I went to save the gas stations. My father, listen to this, not knowing English, accumulated 3 gas stations on auto parts of his own home and a block worth of real estate.
That is impressive.
America, very, very good.
I mean, coming over and then starting from with nothing.
That's why I love this country. Let's face it. There's no one in Key West right now trying to build a raft. Going, if I could just get to Cuba, right, coming to America.
Well, that's a good point. And America does give you that opportunity. And I think you and I were even saying the other last night that there is no greater opportunity right now in America than the AI space. I mean, you want to talk about an opportunity that if you get into it and you start coding and you have an idea that's useful and in need. I mean, you can see it. Just how it's helping implement. It makes things more efficient. Making things smarter. It's again, the naysayers are saying it's going to cost jobs. Maybe temporarily. It's going to be it's going to be a shift.
Yeah, it's going to make people want to work smarter and work harder. And like you and I are working on that project, that's going to help software with construction and consulting and all that. But there's a lot of advantages to it. And I tell my kids, I says, if I were you, I'd be studying AI right now.
That's exactly what we've been saying. We've been saying, if you're in college right now and they're not offering AI courses, then I would suggest you just start experimenting with the major tools, whether it's
self-development,
ChatGPT, absolutely, Copilot. You can get a free version of all of them. Download it, play with it, just see what it does.
Yeah,
it's a conversation between you and the agent. It's not even just a text conversation any longer. You can actually just have a voice conversation back and forth. So they make it as simple as possible.
And also Claude, as you know,
Claude, I love. And Claude and I are on a first name basis.
My goodness, I used to take 2.5 days, me and my staff, to do a proposal training for a company.
Right.
We knock it out in 30 minutes.
It's amazing too, right?
Like, what?
And it's top quality.
It's better than I could have done.
Exactly, and that's exactly the way I am. I mean, I've been beating Claude down like a Preakness horse because it's been.
I run out of time all the time.
Well, Claude tells me it's time to go to bed. I'm like, listen, I'll tell you when it's time to go to bed. And first of all, you got to understand I'm on Eastern time, and you're telling me this at 11:30 in the morning, even though I will take a nap once in a while.
I like when it tells me to take a time out. I'll see you at 1:15.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, like what? We've had enough of you today. Come back.
But it's great. But I tell you, any one watching us, you really got to study it and so if you can't go to classes, do self-development.
Exactly.
Online
I think
courses,
that's
whatever.
Fantastic advice because it's only going to enhance you.
Oh.
And that's always the key. So if they say AI is going to replace jobs, it's only going to replace jobs if AI is better than what you can do with AI.
And that's the key. It's what you give it, right?
Right.
The better information you give it, the more you educate it, the better it's going to get.
And it's really a dialogue. So it's learning how to have that proper, concise, very clear conversation as the instructions, the follow-ups, what to ask next, and maybe sometimes the open-ended question is the best question because it'll throw some stuff out that you might not even been thinking about.
Yeah, I only wish I had it my whole life.
Right?
Because
I know
I'd have made my school life better. I might have finished school.
It's never too late, Omar. It's school's overrated too, though. You got to do it. But look, obviously, you're the perfect prime example of why schools isn't the end all be all, right? So I mean, tell our listeners a little bit your journey as to where you started, what got you into the business world. I think you were hinting that your dad had the gas stations. Did you?
And he lost everything, unfortunately. And my dad was a great guy. Great, he knew how to accumulate things, but he didn't know how to keep them. He also had the language barrier.
Yeah.
So that hurt him. But the guy was amazing. Great guy, great father, great husband. But he just, he got taken advantage of by some people and lost everything again. And first time wasn't his fault. Cuba, Castro. Imagine you own SO gas stations, dealerships, and Castro comes in and says to you, hey, you can live what you live, keep working, but I own everything you have and you work for me.
Wow.
And my dad's like, we're out of here.
Yeah.
So we escaped to Florida.
Yep.
And then we were sponsored by a church to Joliet, Illinois, St. Patrick's Church, an Irish community.
Fantastic.
Wonderful people, Irish and Polish. And then was brought up there, great guys. They were all at my wedding. And in fact, when I got married, my wife's like, I don't have 14 people on my side. Well, you better, because I can't take any of these guys out. So they're all in the wedding. So
and we need to balance this out.
So
it's going to be a party.
She's asking friends and girlfriends.
Right?
So
I'm sure it was a good mixer.
Yeah. Oh, well, I had a great upbringing. It's either fight or what.
Right.
But I had a great childhood, and then but then my dad, and I went out. I studied music. I'm a lyric tenor, and as you know, I won the equivalency of the Grammy 2 years in a row and best Latin male vocalist, entertainer of the year.
We should have had you singing at the club last night. What were you thinking?
I could have done that.
Yeah, we could have done a little acoustic hour, you and I. What do you think?
Hey, make sure you. My records are all out everywhere, and I did real well with that. But anyway, that's why I went to California, to be discovered. And I'm out there, and I drove my old GTO, which I wish I had, the Judge.
Yeah.
And I'm driving this GTO, smoking oil.
Yeah.
You used to put your U-Haul on the roof.
Oh, yeah.
Tighten it up, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going through Colorado, and I felt a big gust. I stopped for gas, and I'm like, my car looks different, you know.
said,
I
"This is
lost my
something."
U-Haul.
Oh, no.
Went down like 1,500 feet. I go back, I saw it.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm not going
Yeah.
there.
What am I going to do now, right?
Right? So I get to LA. I paid cash for the deposit, so I took all my money. I look up, it says $51 a week. I'm like, that's for me.
Yeah.
I walk in, you know, I got a studio apartment, and the guy was kind enough to let me in, and it had like a bed, Murphy bed, and all that, and easy to get around, 200 square feet, you know.
That's all you need. All you need. I've always said that.
The only thing I knew is how to build the body. So, because I held the record for bench press, 400 pounds for my weight class.
You were fast and you were strong.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Well, most sprinters are strong.
Yeah.
They got upper bodies. Yeah. So I got a job as a personal trainer. So I trained Tom Selleck when he was at the gym, Sports Connections.
No kidding.
And Jerry West.
Nice.
And a lot of people were there and got to meet a lot of people and just, you know, a lot of celebrities. But I saw salespeople making a lot of money. I thought, I'm going to go into sales.
Yeah.
So I go into sales. I failed miserably. My average income was $147 a month.
Yeah.
How you budget.
It's a start.
You know.
And that $51 a month, $51 a week wasn't getting paid otherwise.
I told people I used to look down. I was like, if somebody took my wallet, I'd owe them money. You know, it's like, so I get this job and I'm struggling and I'm looking out the window. And that day I really had a tough time. And I was sitting there praying. I pray a lot, you know. And I go to work and I'm looking out the window prospecting like some of your salespeople, right?
Yep.
Prospecting. Looking out the window, right? And a man pulls up in a black 6.9 Mercedes, gets out of the car, and I thought, man, he had this big medallion, all gold and diamonds, and it was a phoenix bird. And it said Champions Unlimited. And I'm like, man, if I could get close to this guy, I'd give anything.
Yeah.
So he walks in, I find out he's the owner of the club, the investor.
Nice.
And I talked to Dave, his partner, and he says, hey, this guy wants to get in shape. I said, well, he says, you're the best. I said, yeah, but I'll do it because I'm not doing well in sales. So he says, hey, what's your name? I said, Omar Periu. He says, what do you do? I'm in sales. He says, what's your average income? I'm like,
yeah,
$147 a month. He goes, there's room for improvement.
There is.
So I thought I liked this guy.
Yeah.
And he says, hey, I need to get in shape. I just got divorced. And his name was Tom Murphy. And he owned Champions Unlimited, managed Tom Hopkins, Dennis Waitley, Jay Abraham, Dr. Maxwell Maltz, Danielle Kennedy, all these different speakers.
Yeah.
And he says, get me in shape. Because you know Zig Ziglar? I said, nope. Tom Hopkins says, nope. Brian Tracy, nope. He says, you're in trouble, kid. I says, Jim Rohn? He goes, nope. He says, Bob Proctor, nope. He says, these are all my friends. So he said, you train me, I'm not paying you, and I'll send you to all their seminars and give you their libraries.
Oh.
And he changed my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what an amazing story that was the focal point.
That's it.
You know, right there.
That was it. That guy, I lost him last June. I love that guy. He was my guy. Yeah.
Did you guys stay in? Did you guys stay in?
Oh,
yeah.
God, yeah, all the time.
That's awesome.
He's my guy.
Yeah, that's
he
important.
died. He was 88, and he died last June. And the guy was amazing. Changed my life, and took me from zero to hero. And
well, here's to him.
Yep, to Tom Murphy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's important. Everybody needs a good mentor in their life because I mean, you can do it by trial and error, and certainly that's the school of hard knocks.
Yeah, he's like told me, hey. So he took me, Tom Hopkins also changed my life. He's a great mentor. He's still alive. I talked to him last week, and doing great. Awesome. And so he's, he wrote that book, How to Master the Art of Selling.
Yeah.
It's a great book.
Classic.
And he just a great mentor. So he was also an investor in the clubs, and we started building health clubs, and we owned a percentage, a small 10% of Sports Connections.
So you started building health clubs. Now, what spurred that on? So you went from being salesman to personal trainer now, and clearly there was a connection made between you and Tom and this gentleman to say that we're going to start doing this together.
Yeah. And what happened was he was in Phoenix, Arizona, in Scottsdale. That's where the main office was. And I was in California. And I said to him, I want to be part of this. So he said, yeah, if you want to be part of this, I'm going to give you a deal. I'll tell you what, bring me 20 grand and I'll give you a piece of the company and I'll do incremental on your numbers. I'm like, okay, I was the number one salesperson in sales and in fitness at the time now.
Yeah.
This is 3 years later.
Yeah.
I became from 0 to number 1.
Wow.
And so I didn't know what to do. I met this guy as a personal trainer who was owned a paint company. And I don't know if you know, in LA, there's a lot of apartments.
Yeah.
So he says, I can't keep up with the apartments. So I said, he says, go to Sears, I'll give anybody a credit card. So I went there, I got a credit card, and I bought all the equipment he told me to buy. And then I had bodybuilding friends.
Yep.
And I said, you do the trim, and I'll do the paint. I got the sprayer he taught me. And he says, you give me $100 for every apartment that you paint. So I go in, and I had this for like 6 months, and I go to Murph. Here's 20 grand, and then one of the bodybuilders bought the business from me for another 20 grand. Wow. He goes, here's 20 grand for the first club. Here's 20 grand for the second one. He goes, I am impressed.
Wow.
And that was it.
That was it.
Yeah, and then I went.
Now you're offering it. You had the trust. You showed them the, the perseverance, the discipline to run a paint company. Now you said, if you can do this, this is going to be.
Yeah.
Easy.
And he said, I need somebody. You do the sweat equity, and I'm in Scottsdale, and I'll get the investors. And so we built the Marine Athletic Club, Westside Sports Centers, Westwood Centers. I was telling Gary today that we owned Muhammad Ali's health clubs.
No kidding.
In Crenshaw. Yeah.
Nice.
So we did that. And then I actually own a club with Bruce Jenner.
No way.
Bruce Jenner's Westwood Centers. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Great lady now.
Things change.
Yeah, I know, right? That's all right. He
was a great athlete.
Did you ever race him?
Oh, no. No. Now I would.
Yeah, right. But Perry's got a size 13 stiletto, just like Bruce has.
Really?
It's only a matter of time until that comes out. I probably can't run as fast as Bruce can, though.
Hey, he was at that time. I always he'd pull up in his white turbo Porsche 911, all tricked out, and he always had beautiful ladies with him. And
it's amazing how that goes side by side out in LA, right?
Yeah, well, things happen, Not that there's anything wrong with that, right? No,
of course not. It's what makes the world go around. But
so I owned all these clubs, and I hired, as you know the story, I hired Chin Yi.
Yes,
and
great story. And how did Chin Yi come into the club? I mean,
he reminded me a lot of me. Chin Yi was 16 and a half, 17. He was friends. He met my brother, and they were friends, and it's a great story because they're a great success story. They lived in one bedroom apartment, and it was his mom and the kids, and he came, and I saw a lot in him, and the kid would never go home. So I hired him, I trained him, taught him sales, and then his mom, Kay, was my bookkeeper. Sister did the aerobics, and they became LA Fitness.
Wow. So, and how did that transition happen? Did they start it on their own? I mean, did they?
Well, they had a good start with all the mentoring and coaching and things that I did, and then they just changed the name and took it to another level.
Took it to another level.
But I still got to help out.
That's amazing. I mean, it really is amazing. Yeah. And LA Fitness, is just it's still one of the top quality fitness centers.
I'm very proud of him and the family. Yeah. And
awesome.
Yep. So that went well, and then a lot of other things, like I bought record companies, started buying records because I wanted to sing, right?
Yeah.
So if you look up, you can see I won the equivalency of the Grammy, because in the old days we weren't recognized in the Grammys until Emilio Estefan and Gloria Estefan became president and CEO of Sony in Spanish. So I won the Chin de Plata, Otto Cirgo. Won those awards 2 years in a row.
Wow.
So I bought a record company, did well with that, and sold that. Then got into real estate, IT companies. And that's why I really think that what you're doing is amazing, because I think that one of the things I tell people is, number one, find something you love.
Right.
Number two, find the right vehicle.
Yeah.
And AI is the right vehicle.
It really is. I mean, I can't stress that enough.
Right. So, I mean, if you're going to open up a pager company right now, you're in trouble.
Right.
If you're going to sell pagers, you're going to get killed.
Some people like you to bring BlackBerry back.
Right.
Well, that's
I mean, I helped with Yellow Pages. Yeah. Joe Walsh was amazing.
Yeah.
And we went from 3 states to 48 states. That's another great story. And he sold that for a lot of money.
Good time to get out.
Yeah.
Even though it's Yellow Pages still are popular
in the
online.
Midwest.
Yeah,
In the
they're still very
Midwest, too.
popular. You still
Yeah.
get that dropped off,
Right.
You look forward to getting that book.
Yeah, but it went from this to
It
this.
did. I
right?
remember seeing it when I was delivering papers. It kind of every year got a little smaller.
So I mean that, and so you got to really like go with the flow.
Yeah.
You know, find what's hot and go with it. Don't ride a dead horse. Right.
Yeah.
Too many people do that. They don't realize you got to give up and move on to the next vehicle. So I always tell people, find something you love so you doesn't feel like work. Find the right vehicle and be the best at it.
Right. That's fantastic advice.
Yeah.
I got one more question before we go to our first break, and we go into segments. So
Okay.
wait till you get to the fifth segment. That's the segment that
That's when we put a nipple on the bottle.
That's where it goes. The bourbon burnometer comes down. I just said it. I think I said it right that time. Did I?
Yeah. No, you didn't.
I still haven't gotten it right. Yeah, I've still got to clap.
We knew what you meant.
That's funny.
But
Actually, your version of it is really better than the original.
Well,
I
maybe
think we
it's
just stick with it.
It does add one less syllable.
I like it.
But one last question for you here, for our listeners. You've had so much success, Omar, but sometimes it's the failures that you learn from, right? So,
Right.
what's your greatest failure that you learned from?
Wow, there's been a lot.
Yeah,
You learn from your failures, and my greatest failure, that would be a tough one, but I think missed opportunities would be
yeah. Sometimes
a couple things,
right,
like that, right?
You're right there on the cusp of it. You was
Yeah.
right in front of you, and you just kind of watched it go by.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I was telling Gary today, one of them, that when I had the health clubs, Papa John's was a member of the club, and he came in and offered an unbelievable price to get the franchisees, and I passed on it. Right?
Oh, wow.
But I got a better one for you. My mentor Tom Murphy.
Yeah.
He invested in. Remember Buddy Ryan, the football coach? Of
course, yeah.
So he moved from Chicago to Arizona.
Yep. And then eventually, did he end up in Philadelphia at the end?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
He was a great, so when I was living in Illinois, when he was at the Bears,
Chicago, yeah.
1985
Yeah.
Bears that won the Super Bowl, right?
Right.
So that was awesome.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, Mike Ditka. Yeah.
Right.
And so he in fact, I know Tom Thayer that was on the team.
Awesome.
So he invested in his first. It was another company I won't mention, and then he invested in his bar, and he lost like $250 on each one. So then he has this guy come up to him. And he says, "Hey, listen, I'm the one that set you up in the first one. It failed. The second one, it failed, and I'm going to give you a really good deal. Just put like a $250, and I'll give you a big piece of the company." And Murph's like, "You know what? I like you. You're a nice guy.
Yeah.
You're a good chef. J. Alexander's."
No way.
Yeah, he passed. So he's like, "Oh man!" It's
Right.
like, so you always have those, but yeah.
But the restaurant business is tough, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to really be kind of
Yeah.
careful.
But I think you all. There's a lot of failures, but you learn from your failures,
Yeah.
and the key is to learn to fail forward faster.
Yes.
Right.
That's a good song.
And
I
if
like
you
it.
learn to fail forward faster, you're going to get better at it.
Yeah.
But if you're not failing, you're not trying.
That's right.
And you know what my mentor said? Trying is failure with honor.
That's right.
Right.
And that's a great line.
Yeah.
That's a great line.
Yeah.
And cheers to that. And we're going to take it to the segment. Here's to failing with honor.
Yeah, there you go.
And I have failed without honor a few times too. I got to be honest. It's been wonderful. We'll be right back.
If you advise clients on AI, data, privacy, or cybersecurity law, you cannot afford to miss a development. And right now, developments are happening ever so quickly. Docket Daily tracks every AI, data, privacy, and cybersecurity legal development across all 50 states, D.C., and the federal government, and delivers to you every morning an updated, curated, attorney-reviewed digest. Proposed bills, enacted laws, regulations, court opinions, executive orders, every jurisdiction, every day, as well as the news headlines. Stop guessing what you missed. Start your free 2-week trial subscription today.
And we are back. We have been having a great conversation, Omar. Your past is so fascinating. I mean, and it is a true American. It is a true American dream.
Yeah, that's
story.
why every time I see a serviceman or woman, I thank them.
Right.
Because without them, we wouldn't have this great country.
Is that not the truth?
Yep.
And here's
Toast
cheers
to them.
Cheers to everybody that's served out there. If it wasn't for you, we would not have.
And the veterans, too.
And the veterans too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And
We wouldn't have this bourbon.
in that bourbon, so and we're going to talk about this in the third segment. But Horse Soldier is a veteran.
Is that right?
It's
nice.
I can't wait to talk about that.
It's a great story.
Yeah, it's a great story. You know?
Right.
Yeah, unlike the chicken cock bourbon we had a few nights ago.
It's still a great story.
It's still a legend. Yeah.
It's just not that same kind.
Yeah, when Perry called and said, "Hey, I'm getting the horse, bourbon," I said, "The
chicken."
Horse, oh, the horse cock bourbon or the no horse soldier." I said, "Oh, that makes a lot more sense."
Don't make Brad, you can't
like that.
You can't make Omar regret being here in the second segment. All right, at least wait till the fifth segment.
Sorry, Omar.
No worries. I'm good.
That was a previous episode reference.
Yeah.
like Brad always says, we don't take ourselves very seriously.
No, we definitely don't
good.
take ourselves seriously.
That's what you gotta do.
That's what makes life a little more enjoyable at times, right? So
Yep.
if we aren't laughing, we'll be crying.
Yeah. Yeah. Life's too long to be miserable.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's two.
Yeah,
two segments, two great lines.
Oh my goodness, we might have to call our bourbon the second segment. That's awesome, Omar. So pick up with your story now. So you helped mentor this young gentleman that
From Korea.
From Korea.
Yep.
So I walked into your shop. You saw a lot of yourself and him.
Yep.
And much like Tom Murphy, you took it on yourself, and that's what I love about you. And I was telling you that last night. Your EQ level is what is off the charts. I mean, you pick up on everybody, and I think that's what makes you such a great mentor.
Thank you.
And confidant that for all those that are lucky to have you in their corner. So you take this young gentleman under your arms, and you lead his family from that one bedroom apartment they were all sharing. And
he became very successful. He would never leave. The kid became my top salesperson, and then went into management. Next, and then it's the rest is history.
the rest is history.
But the good news is that, and this is what I want to share with people, is that make sure that when you hit a goal, you have a goal behind it. Because one of the things I like to share with people is that you have to have multiple goals and multiple streams of income. And I think it's important that people realize that multiple streams of income is not a job, right?
Right.
Multiple streams of income is not another job.
Right. Because otherwise
three jobs.
you can take 2 or 3 jobs, but you'll be burning yourself
Yeah.
out.
So you got to learn to find other things. So what I did is when I sold the clubs, I got into the record companies, I got into real estate, I got into different things. Even now, like I have that company, Excel Partners.
Yes.
And we're doing great with that.
Great stuff. I mean, the projects you're doing all around the world. I mean,
great consulting, and I got great partners.
you do. And Dan and the gentleman down
Dan
there.
and Brian
I've
and
enjoyed
Josh.
I've enjoyed to get to know each and every one of them on our
Yeah,
a
they're
couple
great
calls I've
guys.
been able to join you on, and Abhishek, being part of the team
Oh,
too.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I mean,
Abhishek's amazing.
is he not the next Silicon Valley Mark Zuckerberg?
He's amazing.
He is amazing, and I know.
Big fan of it.
Yeah, I know. He's worked with you too, Per. He is special.
He's
Yeah.
developing some software for us.
So I mean, he's a genius. Is what he is, and good stuff. So it's like you go through life, and you gotta keep yourself curious. I was talking to Gary again, and I said, people say to me, "What keeps you on your edge?" I wake up every morning like I'm starting from scratch, and most people don't do that because it's easy to get comfortable.
It is good.
And comfortable is your biggest enemy.
Well, it is.
In life. So when you get comfortable, you get soft, right? So you want to stay on the edge. So what I do is I wake up every morning like I'm starting out, and that gives me an edge. And I'll never retire because I don't work. I love what I do, just like you. I don't work. I work, with 7 to 10 mentees a year, and I normally get a piece of their company, a fee, and a retainer and all that. And so I'm enjoying it. I'm getting paid. I'm kind of like their coach, mentor, but I'm like on the sidelines, and then someone give me a piece of it. So I enjoy that. It makes me happy.
And that's powerful. So, you're doing what you love. You're helping other, up and coming entrepreneurs, find their passion in their way, right?
They need your help because there's a lot of people that have potential, but they haven't seen the full picture of full potential.
Yeah.
And, like I always tell people, I feel like I have 100-mile view from what's going on because I've experienced so much.
Well, and that's important because, and I was just thinking that too, because when you say what your full potential is, a lot of folks don't even know what that is.
Right. Well, you've heard the saying, most people are working at 10% of their potential.
Yeah.
Right?
My mom had a great saying, and she was a published author in magazines, and she said, "Success is one step further than you think you can take."
Yeah,
and it was a great saying back in the day, and it was always what kind of pushed me. So, you think you're there, you're not there yet.
Right?
You know what I mean? I think it's wonderful that you stayed curious, that you're still going. I mean, and I can attest to it. I mean, when we're talking AI, and we're talking Excel partners, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, it's you guys are taking it to the next level.
Yeah. And, Earl Nightingale used to say, success is not the result of making money. Making money is the result of success. Which I thought that was great.
And that's all those things are the kind of Tony Robbins stuff that just jumps you out of bed, right? Which I know you and him had a close relationship as well.
Well, I've worked with him years ago. He had a company called Results.
Yep.
And I did like 12 events for them. And then there was a company called Success Mastery. And they would do masterminds that he sold, and I would go and teach at those. Yeah, that was fun. I was also the master trainer for the Think and Grow Rich Napoleon Hill Foundation for their masterminds, which is fun.
I remember
13 cities doing that. That was fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he was Think and Grow Rich is a great book. Anyone?
It's staple, and I definitely read that back in the day. I read How to Make Friends and Influence People. That was, one of the Dale Carnegie, so that's one of the...
Dale Carnegie is amazing. As a Man Thinketh by James Allen.
Yep.
The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy.
Yep.
The Richest Man in Babylon.
Yeah.
By George Clayton.
There's a few by Omar Periu too that are pretty darn good too.
Yeah.
I can't wait to dive
I always tell people, I always tell people every day I listen to audibles and I'll read books. And sometimes I listen to my own stuff because it's pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
I tell people,
I had AI read my books and Audible won't let me put it up there.
Yeah.
So I'm threatening him with the discrimination.
Oh, really?
Lawsuit. Yeah.
Oh, I
said you're hampering on my First Amendment rights of freedom of expression. Come on.
Yeah, I'm on all that stuff. I love listening to it though. Every day I listen to something. Everybody should feed their minds. I listen to about 20, 30 minutes because I find after 20, 30 minutes, my mind it becomes like, doesn't focus on it.
Well, and I think that's our new technology, right? So everything is instant gratification. Unlike back in the day, we had to dive into the encyclopedias, and that was the the end all be all.
Well, that's before my time. So.
Well, it wasn't before mine.
I'm kidding. It's funny you should say it. My father, the only thing I saw him invest in, we had this sales guy came in and he sold us the encyclopedias at our house. Yeah. And he bought it. And we had that. That was really good.
It was a treasure.
Learned a lot.
That was treasured.
It was amazing.
That was the only, other than going to the library at home, that was the only reference material I had when I was in high school. World Book Encyclopedia.
I can remember how they sold us. I mean, they came and gave us the Book of X for free.
You didn't get the
and I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah. You didn't get the knife set with it?
The Cutco. Got to get the Cutco knives.
We got the Jinzu knives.
I know. To think you had the world of knowledge at your fingertips, and now the internet is just so full of it, right? And
it's crazy, but
So this 20-minute attention span is kind of normal.
For me
and I think even for the younger generation, Gen Z and those folks, it might even be smaller because they have to be doing,
I was going to say 20 minutes is actually pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I tell people,
and that's what Louis says when he's selling my ED pills.
I didn't think you'd last that long.
Oh, that's right.
Together we rise.
That's right.
I like that. All right. Here we go. Good stuff.
So anyways, I digress. But, we are talking about knowledge, and knowledge is has been king, and it always you knew it was special when you had that Britannica encyclopedia set on the shelf, and you were dusting it off, taking it out, and you were thumbing through the index and looking for that very one thing, and you were always disappointed when there wasn't something in the index that happened to be your your question that you had. But now when you say curiosity, your curiosity can be satisfied by whatever you're looking for, because if the answer isn't out there now with AI, the answer can be found, or at least researched and possibly found. So,
if you take any of the tools that they're providing with AI, my son is really into it.
Awesome.
I got a son that's a genius.
Yeah.
And Maxwell, and he's all over it. My daughter is also brilliant, but she does amazing like Instagram ads. She studied creative marketing and communications.
Yeah, right.
And then my son is like, it's like
financial guru, right?
Yeah. Oh, he's amazing, and you'd love him.
I would love to meet him someday.
He's a good kid, and really into AI. Like,
I love it.
Love it. He's a good kid. He actually helped me with my book. When I finished the book, he went through and read it and edited it for me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Before I gave it to my editors.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's a special connection, right?
And I tell people, see, I learned that from John Maxwell. John Maxwell was I named my son Maxwell after him. He was a great mentor, and he said, my father, which really hit me when my kids were young, and he said his dad didn't pay him to take out the garbage or do chores. He paid him to read a book.
Oh,
that was his chore. That's
powerful.
And look where he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that is powerful.
Yeah.
It's a great, taking out the garbage and doing those chores should be just part of the family, right?
That's what he said. He said that was part of doing your everyday job.
Yeah.
But reading a book with what they got there.
That's the incentive I want to incentivize you with.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's awesome.
He taught me that. Yeah.
I love that. That's
great guy.
That's really powerful. So now you have been you've been on I would say it's one of the greatest speaking tours that of just about anybody in the United States, right?
I've been very blessed. Yeah.
And this goes back to the early 90s, is that?
Well, I got on in 96 when Murph put me on with Tom Hopkins.
Awesome.
And then it was Zig, and Zig's only written 4 forwards in his life. Mine was the last one.
That's so cool.
So that was a real honor.
That's a real honor.
He was like the grandpa I didn't get to meet in Cuba.
Yeah.
So he became a great friend. I used to walk with him. Every time we did 50 speeches a year together, and I would have the blessing to walk with him after we had dinner for an hour. And it was a blast.
That one-on-one time, right?
Oh, that guy was not only a great dad, a great husband, a great part of the community, but a great mentor.
Well, by the way,
a great friend.
And by the way, anytime you text and say, I want to call, I'm like, yeah, anytime. You just,
he was amazing.
You just name it, because it's the same feeling I have for you. You know that,
thank
right?
you.
Yeah. And we connected immediately, and we're sharing, very personal information. And I think you even said at one point, I don't know why I'm sharing this with you, but it's a connection. And that's what's most important in life. You find those people you can trust. You find those people you can look up to, or if you're on the other side of the coin, you can help, and they can look up to you. That's so important. It's
important.
Yeah.
You never know when someone needs a lifeline.
They don't.
Right? So you got to be there. Just do the best you can.
And that's, you talk about praying all the time, not to make this religious, but that's exactly what we all should be doing, right?
Well, that's how I start my day.
Yeah, me too.
That's the beginning of my day.
In my end,
Yep.
And today, a few times in between, I'm asking for a little help, God. Just prop me up.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. So about me, enough about me. How about your success story?
Oh, my success story is so boring, Omar. You don't want to hear it.
No, that's it. I mean, you've got a great story.
It's still unfolding, Brad. Come on.
Well, yeah, right. There's always a third and fourth chapter, but no, much like you, I was curious from the beginning. We didn't come from much. My very first house I can remember when I was 3.5 years old, we lived in was a trailer that was on my grandparents. They gave a lot to my cousins, my aunt and uncle, and they gave a lot to my parents. And they both didn't go to college. My dad went to tech school, was a genius though. I mean, just one of those engineering minds, and went on to. I don't talk about my dad often, but he was a genius. He has 13, 14 patents out there for the company he worked for. But those patents changed Dairy Queen because he developed the soft serve ice cream.
Oh my God!
He developed the slushy machine, and
so I have him to thank for my weight problems. Thanks
yeah, right. And he also developed the very first online scientific calculator. So
oh my God!
Yeah, back when the Mac first came. So his mind was always evolving and changing. I think that's maybe where I get it a little bit from. But
absolutely.
But he, but we didn't come from anything, So I mean, we had to. He worked his way up from the beginning. We moved all around. I mentioned we started in Wisconsin. That's where my immediate family's from. When I was 7 years old, we moved to Iowa for 3 years. We moved to Denver my middle school years. So that was a big change from the Midwest to Denver. Little West Coast culture. The bullying came in, and I had to get some tough skin. I'm hauling I'm all of 4'2" in 7th grade, and I got to hold my bass trombone.
Yeah.
And the only reason I had a bass trombone, which is bigger than the regular trombone, is because my dad played that in high school, and so we couldn't afford drum when you play drums, but we couldn't afford that. So he put a handle on it, and wheels, so I could haul it behind me. And you can imagine as a 7th grader getting on that bus, you just got ridiculed. Looked like I was hauling a coffin every day. Wow. Which kind of maybe got me into the Halloween thing. But
it makes a lot of sense.
Got you working out and stuff, right?
I was.
I mean, when I started working out, I was like 15 and a half, and if I weighed 122 pounds. If I turned sideways, you could call me missing.
That was me too. Where'd he go? There he is. Now you see me, now you don't.
That's it. It worked. It was good for a while.
That's right. So it's like that Snickers commercial when you don't want to be seen, you just turn around.
So then you're in Colorado. Then what?
Yeah. So we were in Colorado, and that's where I really learned my true work ethic, because I worked for the Denver Post from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. every morning. It was only adult carriers only. I was 7th grade, got paid $5 an hour back then. This is, in the late 80s. But I would help the adult. There was only 3 of us in there that would help all the adult carriers fold and get their papers ready to go deliver. And then I would leave there and go deliver the Rocky Mountain News every morning, because we could deliver that. And so I trained my dog to take me around and do that. And then I cleaned houses for HBO executives and all their yuppie friends out there. So
you were busy. You're doing like 3 jobs a day.
Yeah, sometimes even more. So that was my start. But then I too had a great mentor. He gave me an internship. My mom worked for him up in Erie, the Palermo family, and I realized real estate's one of those vehicles that can get you to the next level.
Right.
And so he gave me the opportunity as a freshman coming out of starting right off. He said, "Look, Brad, my graduation gift from my parents were suitcases, so I knew I needed to move out." We had 4 kids. It's time to go. We got enough. Enough to take. But we have enough. But my mom, set me up really nice with Joe Palermo, and he was the second biggest developer in the area. Still is. His Palermo family is very well.
No, are they Cuban or Italian?
Sicilian, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I was going to say, yeah.
So they said, we have 43 apartments down by Gannon. We would like to have an on-site manager. So we'll give you a free apartment, $50 for every lease, and you kind of keep your eyes and ears and everything down there.
Oh, that was a good deal for both of you.
It was a great deal, right? So yeah. I got to be, as an 18-year-old, I got to live with all the college kids from Gannon. I went to Edinburgh, so I had friends from both places, and then I got a bartending job, so I had this cash coming in when I had really no expenses. And so I decided, Joe taught me how to start investing. So at 18 years old, I started buying real estate.
Nice. And then you went to law school, right?
I did. So I ended up buying 13 or 14 properties by the time I went to law school. But then I realized managing them and going to law school wasn't going to coexist.
That's a lot, yeah.
Especially these older ones, because they need a lot. They're the older 100-year-old properties are just...
Yeah,
they're.
I get it. I was brought up in Joliet.
Yeah, right. So they're money pits at times. So you got to be there and you got to be present, especially when you're releasing. So I sold them on a land contract, and the first one didn't go through. The second one did, so I was able to get out from underneath them.
Nice.
Went to law school. Did well at law school. Went to the University of Pittsburgh.
Nice.
Was editor in chief of the Law Review.
Great school.
Yeah, and got a clerkship with the Third Circuit Court of Appeals.
Nice.
Courts. I was blessed to do that. My second year of law school, I decided I was going to write my first book.
Oh, wow.
Because on eBay, much like you, I saw something. And I'm like, I've been there, done that. You know?
Yeah.
And this was when eBay was first starting, and somebody was selling an ebook, and I was like, "What is an ebook?"
Right.
This is back in 2000, right?
He is a genius. He is a genius,
right? Yeah. And I know, right? So
it's another story,
right? We'll get to that one in the third segment. But so this guy's selling an ebook on how to buy property with no money down, and I'm like, "Oh, I can do that." But what is an ebook? So it's just a digital book,
right?
So I write the ebook ad or the eBay ad. I did it. I bought 13 properties with basically no money down, one after another, and sure enough, the first book sold for $295.
Nice,
but I hadn't written the book yet.
Oh,
so I needed to sit down at the kitchen table, and I wrote the book in 2 days. So
wow, that's a cool story.
And sent that out, and then before you know it, I was selling thousands.
Wow.
And I started buyincomeproperties.com. Because everybody I was selling to, much like you, was looking for mentorship, looking for places they can go to find income properties. So we started that site, and it became the third largest real estate investing site in the nation. And then I sold that to a company in California, which paid for law school.
Nice.
So, and then got out of law school and had the opportunity to go work for the biggest firm, Jones Day, in the country, if not the world. And
now, what were you practicing? Was it what kind of law?
So what I was doing corporate in real estate. That was kind of my with my background. That's what kind of sold me to these guys. And then Bob Lambert, I was working for here out of Indiana, Pennsylvania, came on campus. Looked just like Anthony Hopkins from The Silence of the Lambs.
Oh wow,
yeah,
it still does.
Still very intense. Sits down with his ball cap.
I met him, right?
No,
did I meet him last night? No.
But he sits down across the table when I'm a second year at Pitt and goes, I need somebody. He's willing to pay $15 an hour to do research.
Nice.
This is remote work before remote work was even sexy. It was just phone call and fax. So
wow.
So I did that for 2 years from him, and he comes out of the blue when I'm ready to go sign on the line with Jones Day, and says, "I need somebody like you to come over and take over my oil and gas practice."
Wow.
I said, my wife's 7 months pregnant. We just bought a house in the North Hills in Pittsburgh. I got the greatest job of first year. Or a young attorney could want. I got a $25,000 signing bonus, which is going to pay off the rest of those darn bills, And you're going to make me come out here and start for half and be in a town I've never been to. So my wife and I struggled with that, and that's the Pizza Hut life. We debated this under the Pizza Hut.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Here in
very cool
in Indiana, and he happened to be our immediate neighbor to our left and a dear friend. And so when they remodeled, he gave us that. And that might have been the light we were sitting under when we made the decision to come
That's
to Indiana,
amazing.
Pennsylvania. So
what a great story.
So we came here, and much like AI, being in the right spot at the right time, the Marcellus Shale just hit. And we were one of 5 attorneys that knew oil and gas law.
Wow.
And so we became the attorneys for the Oil and Gas Association, IOGA of Pennsylvania, 30 companies that, from Texas that moved up. We representative of all of them. I started a title company, which allowed me to grow with great people that did all the work in the courthouses, and sold that company, and allowed me to retire at 33.
Nice.
And spend the most important years, I feel, is with my kids and my wife.
How many kids you got?
I got 3. So I got my stepdaughter is a chiropractor in Tennessee.
That's right. You told me.
Just got married.
Awesome.
Her husband's a chiropractor. Wonderful, smart, genius people. My daughter just graduated Duquesne Nursing. She was number 1, gave the speech at,
wow.
In front of 2,800 kids, and had her dad just bawling. But, and my son's is just a stud. He's 6'2". I mean, I envy him. He's 195 pounds. He eats pure, does not have an ounce of sugar that goes through his body.
Love it.
And he plays district, D1 golf for Robert Morris. And
wow.
Yeah. So I'm very proud. He's on the 5-year MBA program. So that's my life. That's my life story. And then
love it.
And now, I've been writing books, obviously, and gotten into the AI space the last 3 or 4 years, and
and just released your new app on the 20th.
Yeah, the doc is
great. I went through the website and everything. And you sent me a little copy of it.
Yeah, it's. I'll give you the login. Just check it out and see what you guys think.
Yeah,
it really is. It's amazing when you wake up in the morning and all of a sudden there's 100 like this morning there was 138 developments.
Wow.
How do you stay ahead of that as an attorney that's representing a?
You got to be. Well, that's how you become a great attorney. You got to stay ahead of it.
Right. So and I saw that gap.
That's a good move.
And I said, let's solve it. And I actually wanted to do it back when I was practicing, but have hiring paralegals and associates do all that work. Now Now I have 60 AI agents going out and doing it. So
got all the bots going.
Right.
Yep.
And they're not liking me. They're about ready to unionize. It's, you know.
You need to give them a little scotch.
I'm giving them a little bourbon. Yeah. We'll give them a little bourbon. You know what? They'll ease their way.
Yeah.
You know they got a sense of humor though when you're talking about regulatory and they're saying, you know, it's just kind of like the bourbon-ometer.
That's it.
It's going down, but our spirits are going up. We'll be right back.
If you advise clients on AI, data, privacy, or cybersecurity law, you cannot afford to miss a development. And right now, developments are happening ever so quickly. Docket Daily tracks every AI, data, privacy, and cybersecurity legal development across all 50 states, DC, and the federal government, and delivers to you every morning an updated, curated, attorney-reviewed digest. Proposed bills, enacted laws, regulations, court opinions, executive orders, every jurisdiction, every day, as well as the news headlines. Stop guessing what you missed. Start your free 2-week trial subscription today.
And we are back. Got a couple dapper gentlemen here. I mean, they're as suave as they. Dapper is right.
That word, man.
Oh,
dapper.
my goodness. Could you imagine if we had Omar with us when we did that Naples crawl?
We would still be we could have been like the Pied Piper. We would have a flock crawling.
I know, right?
That could have been epic. That would have been.
It would have been epic. You know.
That was some stuff, no doubt.
I'm sure you had a good time without me.
We did till we couldn't get in the door of Olive Garden.
Yeah, it was kind of like
not because they wouldn't let us in.
We just couldn't find the door. Yeah. We're going around. Our fingerprints are all over the windows. You know, people are looking at us like we're, you know, we got 3 heads.
That's funny.
It was like I compare it to Rick Moranis and Ghostbusters trying to get in. You know, as you know, chased down. That was us.
That's funny.
Yeah. But it was an epic. One of my favorite nights, to be honest. Evenings, day.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, no, that was
I'm kind of bummed I missed it. That sounds like it was a great time.
Sounds like a great time.
We made friends everywhere we went, didn't we?
I bet.
Well, we were
except that bar.
It made it a lot easier.
Well,
Except that
from
bar
the beginning. I mean, we
except the bar they shut you off in, right?
yeah, the guy, the bartender
Before
was very
you even had one drink.
Yeah, the
your
bartender
friend was shut off.
We were making the horseshoe at the bottom of Naples there, and as I came into this French bar, the bartender looks at me and goes, "Sir, you're shut off." I said, "I haven't even ordered a drink yet." He goes, "Yeah." I said, "I'll have a water."
Yeah. I'll say though that even though they shut you off, you did buy for everybody at the bar.
I did.
So even at the bar that we didn't make it through ourselves, everybody still had fun with us. So,
We tried to, you know, that's kind of how we travel, right?
no doubt.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah, and you know, and Louis, you know, he was in his prime zone with the MyEDs. You know, he's like, "Hey, listen, if
Back. Anytime you're looking for something to talk about, just talk about erectile dysfunction meds, and it's an all or nothing play. You're either all in or you're all out, but it's pretty much my life.
right?" Oh, Louis, you're the best. But you know, explain to Omar. I was, you know, and I do want to talk about the little bookstore you have with that gentleman out in Arizona.
Yeah,
but you know, tell
bookstore.
Tell Omar what lubricity is, and we've named it the lubricity, and this is the trademark that we have is it's LOUB.
Right. There is a word out there, lubricity, which has to deal with, as you might imagine, how lubricated things are. And so we got together, and since my name is Lou, L-O-U, actually Louis, Lewis, depending upon what degree of trouble I was in with my mom, we have come up with lubricity. And what lubricity is to us and what we're trying to maybe market here, Omar, is basically a graph that outlines and details where you are in the comfort zone, fun zone, dropping off to
Asshole,
right?
Yeah.
So
population of 1.
Population of 1, visitors, millions,
Yeah,
right? So at the beginning, when you go out at the end of a day and you're kind of just a little bit, you're not chill yet. You're just, I'm going to go out and sit at a bar. And so you don't do anything. And then you have a drink. Perhaps after that one drink, now you're like, man, the day's over. I am chill, right? Yep. That's probably your minimum lubricity, where now I'm ready to talk to somebody. I'm ready to go. And if there's music, I'm ready to listen to it. Now you're part of the world again. So that's your minimum lubricity. Then somebody comes in and you might share a drink with somebody. So now you're on your second drink, and now you're going to start to ramp up. And slowly over the next probably half hour, you get up to optimum lubricity. Now, optimum lubricity is when you still think you can go out and run that 10-500 that you used to run, or press up that 400 that you used to press up.
100 yards before they changed it to meters.
Yeah, 100 yards.
It doesn't matter. You can do 10-5 in anything. It doesn't matter. It's 100 feet at this point.
You can't even say he can sing like Frank Sinatra because he's won Grammys, so he can definitely sing.
Right.
He was amazing.
Yes. So at that point, that point of optimum lubricity, Omar, you can sing as well, right? And now you think everybody's listening to you at the bar, right? So you're good. Then you go one drink more, and now it's your max, right? Which your singing is starting to waver, and you're just about there. And then, as I mentioned to Brad, you hit that cliff, and you fall, boom, 100% right off the cliff.
Kind of like your U-Haul did down the,
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, so
right down to Asshole-ville.
Yes. So it's just the cycle of a night out drinking with the fellas or with whoever you're with. And we just kind of came up with this fun thing, even to the point that I am thinking about changing my middle name to Brissity. Oh. So I am now, when I introduce myself, hey, you're Omar. How you doing? I'm Lubricity. And I'm going to think that might be my middle name going forward. So, yeah, it's a little fun thing that we're playing with, just to have some fun since we do the bourbon with Brad.
Right.
Just something fun that we're playing
with.
And we think the college kids might have fun with it over spring break.
I think the college kids are.
Everybody has a different lubricity level. As we talked about, my minimum lubricity is 1.7 beers. My optimum is 2.7 beers, and my maximum is not much further than 2.7. I'm a little bit of a lightweight.
You are a lightweight.
I am. Yeah, for 220 pounds, I'm pretty much of a lightweight. But
I thought you perfected this over the years, Louis.
Well, I'm perfect at what I am.
So Lou is a pharmacist by trade, so you understand the spreadsheet's full.
Right. Yeah. So to be clear, this is not a scientific pursuit, but a fun pursuit, something to talk about.
This is just a personal endeavor.
What's your minimum lubricity?
It's funny you should say that. I was brought up in Joliet, Illinois, and all my friends are Irish or Italian.
Oh, boy.
So we would go out, and I would ask them to drink a 12-pack before I started so I could keep up.
Oh.
So I would drink like if they drank a 12-pack, I could then start. If I had a 6-pack, I was right there.
So it's kind of like when you were racing them on the foot race. So like you just start and we'll catch up to you.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I've never been a big drinker. And,
well, in high school, I never drank.
Really? See, I didn't either.
I played sports, so
Yeah, college I did. I didn't in high school, but yeah, my friends, I'd say, hey, at least have a 6-pack before I have a beer.
Sure. No,
I get that. Be right there.
I get that. So as I said, this is not scientific, and we're not encouraging anybody to go out and do anything silly. It's just something fun that we're playing with here.
It's just whatever your personal lubricity level. Yeah. And the most important thing that comes out of lubricity is that optimum, and it's socialization. So when we talked about networking, when we talked about There is that perfect socialization where maybe those inhibitions, are dropped that might keep you from going and talking to that person over there after one drink, and now it just lets you down and your guard's
So you're
down.
talking about confidence.
Exactly. Well, yeah, confidence.
Confidence and risk taking.
Yeah.
Because, I always tell people the greatest thing I could give you or teach you is to have a powerful self-esteem and self-image to give you confidence.
Right.
Because when you have a powerful self-esteem and self-image, you will get up and talk to people, you will connect, you will network, all these different things. But if you don't, you'll be that guy that will sit there,
And guess what happens when you sit there?
Nothing.
People walk by you, and then the rest of the world keeps on moving. You're still sitting there. And I guess that's kind of the metaphor that goes with the lubricity.
It does.
Yeah.
Where do you get to your level of confidence?
Yeah.
We're joking, calling it the optimum lubricity,
like
but
when
it is
you're
confidence.
Remember in high school, when you're a kid, and you're a freshman, and I went to an all-boys school, Joliet Catholic High, and then they had a sister school, St. Francis, and they had a dance every Sunday, which after a while I got to sing at every other week.
Well, I bet.
But the first times I went, you're sitting there and you're the skinny kid, and there's these ladies on the other side, and how many times did you not go over and ask someone to dance because you were scared, right?
Sure.
And you might
afraid of the no.
You might go there and ask the girl to dance, and I knew the girl who I ended up going out with her, and everybody wanted to go out with her, and I was afraid to ask her to dance because I was afraid. I thought I'd go up there. Hey, you want to dance? She goes, no, you got pimples. Stuff like that.
Right.
So you turn around, I can't see you.
So how many times and if you think about that, you think about life, you think about business, you think about not just.
But it's a great analogy because
a lot of people don't do, be that little eagle.
Let me
jump off the cliff.
Let me throw this at you, Omar. What if you had that apprehension to approach Tom Murphy the first time?
Yeah.
It would change your whole.
No, I mean,
I call it this. I call it the spoke in the bicycle
how many
wheel.
times
You could have gone down a million different paths, right?
I'm telling you, that day changed my life.
Right.
I was not in a good place. I thought I was going to take over my father's businesses. I was getting my degree in business. I quit school. I'm working at this health club. I'm not happy. Living in a 200 square foot apartment. Not having a good time. And I prayed that day harder than I ever prayed. And Murph showed up.
Well, that
was it.
Sure. So interesting, as I was listening to you guys in the first couple of segments, one of the things you talked about was learning from failure. And that goes with not asking that girl to dance at the 7th grade dance, right?
And it carries on.
Yes, it does.
It builds up, right?
Sure, it does. But
it does.
By the third time, you knew how to ask. The first time, you got shot down. Second time, shot down.
Oh, that didn't work, right?
Eventually, you learned how to ask and I don't want to say what moves to make, but this is the third segment, so we're a little bit outside boundaries here.
Well, we know, Lou,
what moves to make.
Well, let's talk about it, because when you're a young guy or a young gal, and I'll give you my experience. I had a lot of really good-looking buddies, right? And they were the athletes of the school. So after a while, you knew that if you didn't ask her, they were. And they'd get the girl.
Sure.
So after a few, like the second sophomore year, I'm like, I got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So I'd go for it. And you get good at it.
And that's
because the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Well, a dear friend of mine, and he was my mentor and still is to this day in high school. And I can't wait to have him on the show one day. And he's been an amazing success in the IT world. Eric McKinley taught me that, and he was the guy that knew how to talk to everybody.
Right.
From the very early age, going back into when you're in that uncomfortable zone, right?
Sure.
Yeah. And the confidence level that he exuberated still does to this day.
Yeah, and it's normally the guy that you don't believe is going to be that guy.
Right.
Like they're the guys that's like,
and
what's he doing with what?
No, Eric had the looks. He had the 12 pack.
Okay.
He had everything.
That's different.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. So I mean,
but you know what I'm talking about.
But he also had this smoothness, right? So he could open that dialogue and talk with anybody.
I have a cousin like that. The guy's amazing.
Yeah, and I was envious all the time. So I said, I got to learn.
Yeah. Well, it's either that or sit
at the table on the sideline and watch.
It's everybody else having.
And watch from the front seat row, right?
And that's how life is too.
Yeah.
You got it. Jim Rohn was one of my mentors. He said most people go to life with a teaspoon to the banquet of life. You got to go to life with a forklift.
Yeah.
Wow, that's another interesting little saying. Yeah.
Yeah. If you go in with a forklift, you're going to eat. If you go in with a teaspoon, you're going to be that guy or gal that at the end of their life is going to have a lot of regrets.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing about life. We talk, and you joked about how long life is, right? But it's really short, and that's what makes it funny. So if you don't take these chances, if you don't do that,
you know what? It's okay to not. Look, I'm not telling you to lose money, but if you lose a little money, it's okay because
I'm not even talking about money.
My mentor always said, "Make more money. Go make more money."
Oh, there's always that opportunity next, right?
Yeah.
So I just think it's the opportunity of no regrets.
Right.
So if you think there's there's a passion that is leading you there.
You believe in.
Yeah. Yes. Follow it.
Go for it.
Under the heading of regrets, I had two questions that I wanted to ask you that I missed. I might have missed them, but I'm going to ask them both at the same time in case we get sidetracked. First, I would like you have a Grammy as well. That I didn't
it's
hear
the
you guys
equivalency of the Grammy.
Okay,
and we weren't acknowledged by the Grammy.
Okay,
until Emilio Estefan and Gloria Estefan opened Sony International.
Okay,
and then they became.
They were awesome.
They are, yes.
Yeah. Right. So then it's called the Otto Sirgo and Chin de Plata, but it was for us the Otto Sirgo, Chin de Plata.
Chin de Plata.
So the Otto Sirgo was a great actor from Spain, and Chin de Plata was a great actor and producer in Miami. So they had Best Latin Male Vocalist Entertainer of the Year.
Awesome.
And they're huge. I have pictures of them and all that.
Nice.
What's your go-to? What's your genre? What would you describe your like if I were to ask Omar, let's go to karaoke tomorrow, what are you going to sing?
Probably my own stuff.
Well, yeah,
but I wrote 5 of the songs on my album, so.
What is your genre?
Well, I mean, I used to sing. I used to sing rock and roll.
Oh yeah,
I was pretty good at it because I'm a lyric tenor.
Yeah.
Right. So I would do like Led Zeppelin or things like that. I mean, we do Doobie Brothers, all that stuff. But now I'd probably just do like Julio Iglesias or my own stuff.
Julio Iglesias. Yeah, that's good
Al
stuff.
Green.
Al Green.
Yeah. Al Green. that was my go-to.
Oh, he's
I try and do Andre Bocelli at home by myself, and it just doesn't get there.
Just move the lips.
Move the lips. I'm lip syncing to them.
So that Naples place, that pizza, they would have them on a big screen. Just
no doubt.
repeat,
Yeah, that's right. So, and my other question to you: of all the books that you've written, which one is the nearest and dearest to you? Like, this was my best work, and this is the one I feel had the most impact. And which one you're like, maybe I could have done something different with that one?
Yeah, I think my latest book is the book that's going to have the most impact, Money in Your Mindset. I think that's going to be a book that's going to change a lot of lives. I've had others that have done very well, like Investigative Selling, From Management to Leadership, Zero to Wealth, Get Real, Get Rich, The 1 Minute Meeting, as you know, has done very well. One that didn't do well, boy, that's a tough one.
Not didn't do well, but beyond how did it?
Rainmaker.
Which one did you?
Rainmaker didn't do well. I thought Rainmaker would do better. Becoming a Rainmaker, which is all about prospecting. And I thought that people would go, because prospecting is the key to sales.
It's the key to everything.
Because if you don't get the entry, you're not going to get to present. So I thought that would be a great book that went nowhere. Yeah.
It's funny.
That does not because of your work. It's just was it a commercial reason or?
Well, what's the one thing people don't want to do? Prospect.
It's a tough gig.
Yeah.
It's a special person that can go out there and get on.
They don't want to network.
It's a fear of rejection.
Sure.
Right. Well, it's the number one. That's the first point of. It's kind of like what we're talking about.
Asking a girl to dance.
Thing.
Yeah.
We forgot
it's the whole thing.
Bill. Yeah,
it's all prospecting.
It really is. Everything in life is prospecting and choosing.
That's true. Yeah.
Right.
Where you're going, right?
I remember when I started in sales, I talked to Murph and I go, yeah, I hate the cold call. He says, well, you're never going to make it.
Yeah.
He says, did you ever run track? I said, I did. He says, well, then did you ever run the hurdles? I said, when I was younger, I ran the hurdles, 110-yard dash, the 110 and the 200. And
it's completely different.
And he said,
I did the same thing in middle school.
And he says that's a hurdle that you have to be able to jump to get to the finish line. And so I became the best at prospecting, cold calling, and all that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Interesting. So I can't tell you how happy I am to be in the company of you two and Eric, who's in our audience tonight, who had also written a book, and I don't recall what the title of his book.
And Gary also is
and Gary's got a book coming out.
Yeah,
Gary wrote a book as well.
No, it's coming out.
I have 2. I have another one. I have one out already. Another one's coming out.
Yeah, and I can't wait to talk to you about the one when that comes out, because that's.
I'm working on a coloring book.
Omar, has anybody
still can't stay in the lines?
Excuse me. God bless.
Has anybody ever prospected you?
Everyone prospect. I get 1,000 emails a day for startups or somebody looking for money or raising money or something. But I get probably, I sent one to you guys that came through that resonated, but all these guests that want to be on our Apple Top podcast, right? Yeah. So, I get prospects every day. I mean, people trying
Any names we'd recognize?
Well, I got prospected by SOS Hydration, which I said yes to. And we,
SOS Hydration?
Yeah. And
who?
And well,
who's?
Is it like an ED thing?
No, it's like it's energy thing.
You mean really myedmeds.com?
Yeah, myedmeds.
Do you see how I teed him up like that?
Louis,
right?
Louis never misses an opportunity.
Never miss a chance.
So I said, I said yes to Excel Partners.
Yes.
Well, I think they're going to be great. I mean,
I think they are great.
They're doing really well, and they're really consulting in oil and gas and construction and insurance claims.
Well, the projects that they've been doing, and Dan Cross and his whole team is impressive.
Well, they're an amazing team of guys with,
and there's a lot of history there, and that's what AI can't replicate is that history and that knowledge, right?
Yeah, with Dan and Brian and Josh, amazing guys, and
Jeff Bezos prospected you too at one point, didn't he?
Yeah. So let's talk about the Jeff Bezos.
All right,
story,
so it's a long.
So now we talked about our books, right? But there's a little time, and thanks, Gare, for that
this
transition.
is a name everybody
knows. Sneeze. That means it's true.
Yeah. No, but there was a time when Amazon thought maybe we should put books online.
Yeah, well, I'll never forget it. It was 2001. I had this office, really nice office, with 12 employees. We're killing it.
Right.
80 cities a year. Mm-hmm. My average audience was 20,000 people.
Oof.
Killing it. I was on stage with Zig
Ziglar,
Colin Powell, Schwarzkopf, Lou Holtz.
Yeah. Terry Bradshaw, I saw.
Terry Bradshaw.
And I was with
Tony Robbins.
I was with Bob Pompiani, and Terry Bradshaw came out with his own bourbon. So we're gonna try.
Really?
We're gonna try to get him on the.
Oh, that's awesome! I didn't know that. Yeah, Terry you name it. Every city we did, we had a coach, the number one player, and the number one celebrity from it. Right, like even Christopher Reeves. I spoke with him. Larry Bird, Tom Brady.
Wow.
You name it.
Superman. Superman.
Mahomes, all these guys. So anyway, but I didn't put it together. I was just one of the speakers on it.
Yeah.
But I was so
That's a great company though that you're keeping.
Yeah, so we're doing really great. I mean, there was the time to be a speaker, really.
Yeah.
With Get Motivated, it's the best seminar, the biggest seminars in the world. Success Resources.
Yeah.
All these, and then Tony Robbins had results, so I was on those. And
he's still going strong.
He's the best. He's the biggest.
No, he is. And I listened to his.
He makes it happen. He's amazing.
I had his, book of tapes he opened up that you had to peel that cassette out.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we all had unlimited power. That was amazing.
It was, right?
Yeah, it was a great program. But and that's another story. So so anyway, I'm sitting in my office and we get a call from this guy and he says, I want to talk to Omar. And I'm like, okay, well, let me get my staff. So I'll call you. Let's do another call. So he calls up and remember Nightingale Conant? Yep. They had cassettes.
Yep.
So I got lucky. Tom Hopkins, Tom Murphy got me on Nightingale Conant because Tom Hopkins had How to Master the Art of Selling, The Official Guide to Success. He was the number one real estate guy ever in selling stuff. In fact, anyway, so he was really good, and he got me on there. So all my cassettes went crazy, and then Brian Tracy supported me. Zig Ziglar, Tom Hopkins, Jim Rohn was Tom Murphy's best friend, Bob Proctor. Yep. So they're all supporting me. So I become like the number one guy at Nightingale Conant. I was like, and I'd go up there and hang out. So what I learned from Brian Tracy, which is a very important thing that you don't need to do anymore. Brian Tracy taught me when I was like 20-something years old. He says, when you start writing books, Omar, write 12 chapters. And I go, why? He says, because every book I write becomes a cassette. Why? Because there's 6 cassettes, 12 sides.
You're right.
That's advanced planning.
That is advanced planning.
Man, that's an engineer who turned
That's why he has like 89 books.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he put them in. So I do this. So I'm ready. Every time I'd write a book or a cassette, I'd make it a book. either vice versa.
How are those cassettes selling today?
Well, I'll tell you that story later. So I get a call so this guy gets on the call. You remember those speakerphones that look like a spaceship?
Yeah.
With a thing.
Yeah, right.
So we're in a conference room, and it's me and my 3 girls and marketing people that used to work for Tony Robbins. And we're like, so what do you want to do? He says, well, I got this idea. I'm taking like all the top authors and I'm going to sell books online. And I said, okay. And I said, well, yeah. He says, and your name is what? He says, Jeff Bezos. I said, great. He says, yeah, I'm going to start a company. I said, I have a company called Amazon. I'm going to put authors online. And he tells the whole story. It was a beautiful story. So we go, okay, great. He says, will you do it? I said, absolutely, I'm in. Right? So we hang up the phone. I look at my staff and said, nice guy, he's never going to make it.
That's a complete swing and miss, right?
Wow. We should all invest in him.
Yeah. At that point, right?
I think he tells a story.
You talking about space? He probably does, right? But
I don't know if he remembers me, but I was the guy that he called. But I'm sure he called a bunch of people, said the same thing. But
well, who knew how your 33 books are the bestsellers?
But he had a vision. He had a vision.
The New York Times, mine are on Amazon. So
right.
My guess is he probably remembers making that call.
I would think so, right?
Yeah.
Don't we all remember that call?
Well, it's kind of like
because whether it resulted in anything or not, it was probably a pivotal moment.
So listen to this.
But it's a pivotal moment because he's the guy. You're the guy. He's looking to
right
for information. Yeah.
And then I remember when I met Jay Leno. So Jay Leno comes in, and I love cars. You know that. I love cars. I collect cars. I love cars. So
You're on your 3rd Lamborghini, right?
Oh yeah, I wish
an Italian car.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's right.
I have Porsches too, but I love anyway. And then Matt McLaren's,
Oh yeah.
But so Jay Leno comes into my health club. We own Westwood Centers in Westwood Boulevard, and he walks in, and he pulls up in this. Don't quote me. I think it was an old Buick. If he's watching, an old Buick or an Oldsmobile, and he comes in, and I love cars, so I walk out. I see this car, and I'm like, this car is gorgeous. And he comes in, and he talks to me, and he says, "Hey, I'm Jay Leno." I go, "Okay." He says, "I'm a comedian." Yeah, I'm getting the Tonight Show. Great. So he says, "Could I talk to your owner?" I said, "Well, I was 10%.
I am.
So I
am the owner.
No, I wasn't the owner. So I says, you need to talk to Dave Serrato because Tom Murphy was in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
So he says I go, hey, there's a guy here named Jay Leno. He's going to take over the Tonight Show, and he said, would you guys trade? I'll mention your club in Westwood Centers on the Tonight Show, Jay Leno. And I said to Dave Serrato, I says, this is a great opportunity.
It is a great opportunity
to be brought up, and a guy that's going to be on Tonight Show. I mean,
right?
We've all watched Johnny Carson. He's taken over.
I told you I fell asleep to him every night with him and Nev McMahon, right? It's another story we got to talk about, right?
Yeah, he became a good friend of mine. Yeah. So Dave says, no, we can't do it. I'm like, come on. So they didn't do it. So years go by. I have my first book, Investigative Selling, so you could probably go online and see me holding the book with Jay Leno, Investigative Selling. He took a picture with me, invited me to the Tonight Show. And so what happens is they don't do it. Well, he had to sell that car.
Why?
Because he needed the money.
Well, at that point in time.
So before he got going. Yeah, it was a time just before he started, right?
We all know that time, right? So it's always that time when you're just on the cusp of it, right?
Right. So he sells a car, and he of course he got amazing collection. So I get invited years later. My first book, 1999, 2001, Investigative Selling. I get invited by the guy who sells him his toilet supplies, Waxy, the top salesperson, which I trained. Waxy at the time.
Oh, good.
So I get invited to his, the places are huge. He's got like 3 buildings full of cars and motorcycles, and he collects cars. So I get invited to it by this guy from Waxy through his mechanic, gives us a tour, and he says, bring Omar to the Tonight Show. So he brought me to the Tonight Show and took pictures with me, and I told him the story. He goes, you remember that car? I'm like, yeah. He says, I just got that car back and I just redid it, and he showed it to me.
Oh.
It was amazing.
I'm curious, how much did he sell it for? And how much did he have to pay to get it back? I can't imagine what the multiple was.
I'm sure it was a difference, but at that time.
But then he redid the car totally back to its perfect, and he still got it. Yeah,
he has a large. I mean,
he's got the best collection.
I mean, it's so large, right?
Oh my God, he's got you name it, from exotics to like classics to like the beginning of cars. Yeah,
I'm guessing you guys don't know, but is he back from? Didn't he have an accident in Pittsburgh a year or two ago? Jay Leno had a.
I don't know.
Fell
about
down
that.
a hill or something.
I don't think it was in Pittsburgh. I thought it was in California.
It was somewhere in Western Pennsylvania. He was here on a publicity or a PR thing.
He does a lot of car shows.
Yeah, and I think he got banged up pretty good.
Yeah,
I only say that because I think it was Western Pennsylvania.
This is. I love this. We're talking about business. We're talking about cars. We're talking about bourbon. But we haven't talked about Horse Soldier yet, but we will when we come back. And we'll be
back with Horse Soldier. We can talk about the horses from last week.
We can. So we'll be right back.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Salud.
If you advise clients on AI, data, privacy, or cybersecurity law, you cannot afford to miss a development. And right now, developments are happening ever so quickly. Docket Daily tracks every AI, data, privacy, and cybersecurity legal development across all 50 states, DC, and the federal government, and delivers to you every morning an updated, curated, attorney-reviewed digest. Proposed bills, enacted laws, regulations, court opinions, executive orders, every jurisdiction, every day, as well as the news headlines. Stop guessing what you missed. Start your free 2-week trial subscription today.
And we are back. It's the fourth segment. We still have not talked about this wonderful, and actually it's darn good. This is the bourbon burnometer.
Perfect, Brad.
Did I rule that out?
You killed it.
That's the first time out of all these times.
You killed it. The phrase is the bourbon's down.
Yeah, the bourbon's
and
the bourbon's down. The spirits
are up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right. And we are here with a great bourbon. So we got Horse Soldier. Horse Soldier. So Perry, tell us.
So it's a fascinating story.
Yeah.
Actually, John Krebs kind of
he did. So he went down
into this.
He went down to Tennessee. He said, "I'm going.
I got a bottle."
Yeah. So we can't get that in Pennsylvania. So we were very lucky.
What to order online, I guess. But so the story is these a group of 12 Green Berets were sent into the mountains of Afghanistan right after 9/11 to team up with the Mujahideen. And I apologize if I mispronounce that, to fight against and root out the Taliban, who at that point in time we felt were responsible, largely for hiding bin Laden and all that, whatever. But
yeah,
so they fought and they rode on horses because the terrain was so extreme we couldn't get vehicles in there. So they fought from horseback.
Do you think these guys were trained on horses before they went in there, or is it just,
I don't know.
or they just adapted to the moment?
I don't know. The Green Berets, they probably just adapted.
I think that's what I'm kind of thinking
they were
too,
trained on horses.
Right? I mean, do you think they did that? I don't think they did that. Right?
I doubt it. I mean, why would you ever think of that?
Yeah.
Right? So anyway, so the story is they fought and valiantly and were very successful and helped root out a lot of the terrorism and led to a lot of the successes that we had. Fast forward 20 years later, they're all out of the service. They're missing the camaraderie of their teammates, and those guys are really tight. So they formed a bourbon company, and I forget the name of the company, but it's headquartered in St. Petersburg, Florida.
It is.
But they actually distill the bourbon in Kentucky, and it's really cool.
It's a cool story.
It's a great story. They use steel from the World Trade Center to build the molds to build the bottle that they bottled in. I mean, they hire and support veterans, and it's a great American story.
I love it. I love it, and a shout out to John Krebs for bringing it back to us. He special delivered it. It was awesome, and
they made a movie about this too.
Well, I know, and so if you can check out the movie about
it's called 12 Strong. I think was the name of the movie.
So this is what we're tasting now, right?
This is exactly what we're tasting.
Yeah,
now,
this actually.
How come my glass looks like double yours?
Well, because you haven't been drinking the rest of it.
We're going to call you the slow poker. You remember that 12-pack head start that you guys gave you?
I think it's reversed here.
Yeah, next time Omar comes to the show, he says, "Guys, you need to have 2 bourbons before I come on."
Right,
I got to be honest.
I think you guys did though.
I think we did. Actually, I was literally working on the computer. I've been diving into this stuff. Hey, I can't. Claude had me captivated.
Yeah, Claude. Everybody's starting to wonder about you and this guy Claude in town here, Brad. The other day at the golf course, somebody said, "Hey, has Brad got something going on with this guy named Claude?"
Yeah, well, I've been using it for a month now. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And Claude's pretty good, right?
My son turned me on to it. He's a big techie guy.
Oh, and he is.
I was like, he's like, "Dad, you got to try Claude."
Right.
And then now you got ChatGPT, Claude. You got what is it? 4.7, 6.7.
Yeah, you get all these different
changes every day.
And we were so we've been going. We started slowly going through the different 6 majors, and we started with Claude. And Claude is obviously my personal favorite because that's what I'm doing, and I'm not getting paid by Claude. I'm just using Claude. And
so we're taking this week off from that whole.
No, we are taking that off, and so we got into Copilot last week, and we're going to move on to ChatGPT the next week, and then you got Gemini, which they had their big Google conference out in.
They've released some awesome video
and I told you the imaging and video editing that's coming out of this pair. This is going to be next level. So
wow.
And this is Gemini, Brad?
Yeah, it is. It's Google.
Gemini is Google.
Yep.
We had to think. You had to think Google wasn't just going to sit by and let everybody else blow by them, right?
They're not. Yeah, they're sitting on a pile of
Actually,
cash.
I think they kind of rewrote the book this week.
They really did.
Pretty impressive.
I mean, everything that came out of that conference that I've seen.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Can't wait to talk about it next week when I get the
content.
And I'm already impressed. And in fact, I'm using Google Gemini to do my imaging for everything. So
wow, check it out.
And ChatGPT came out with imaging too, which is very good, very close second. But
well, they're all going to get very aggressive and competitive.
And that's what happens, right?
Yeah.
So it just pushes everybody a little bit further, right?
Sure.
So, but so we're Horse Soldier, amazing. If you have a chance to get it off the shelf, I've been hearing about it, and when John said, "I'm going down to Tennessee, and I think they have Horse Soldier," I said, "Get that. That's got to be something we share."
It's good.
Right.
It's a small batch. The bottle he brought is the small batch. Very good. It's got real strong caramel and oak flavors to it. It's delicious.
Yeah, I get the caramel out of this, and it's interesting. As I told you guys, and all of our listeners have heard before, I'm the bourbon novice in this group, but
The Bourbon Boner?
The
Bourbon novice.
No, not the
Bourboner?
that. No, not the Bourboner. Not
Luke
the
just came
let's just go with the bourbon rookie here.
I like bourbon novice. That's
bourbon
it
novice?
rolls right off the tongue. Bourbon novice.
Yeah, you've moved up. You've moved on since Dr. Rich
Rich.
ignited you in that.
Rich doesn't even drink. What's he know?
I know, right?
No matter what you
doctor said, he goes, "What am I?" Because Lou was asking, "What am I? What am I? I'm not. I drink beer. I don't drink bourbon. So am I bourbon?
Bourbonette,
Yeah." And he goes, "Bourbon boner." And I said, "Doc, you know how to diagnose it.
Right.
I gotta be honest."
That's crazy.
So no matter what you call me, I've been fortunate and blessed to have some of the best bourbons that good for me. This one happens to be at least equal to everything that I've had at this point.
I'm putting it on the shelf.
Yeah.
I'm putting it on the shelf, and if I got to travel to Tennessee or wherever I need
Kentucky.
to go to get it,
sure,
I will go get it
It's very
Nice.
good.
because
Obviously.
Pick up two.
Pick up two, yeah.
right,
Pick up two.
exactly, Gary.
I mean, obviously, we're in segment
And
4.
they don't sell,
Look at the
sell it
level.
online. Can't buy it online.
well,
You can.
you can, but Pennsylvania,
Pennsylvania's
you
unique
can't,
state.
You can't ship because of our liquor control board. Owns, you know how the king
Shout out
protects
to
his
Bob.
treasure? Yeah, and Bob. Yeah, Bob Marcus was on that 3-person board. But they are the biggest buying conglomerate in America because Pennsylvania owns its own liquor.
Okay.
So they will not allow other than wine. That was the first thing they opened up was wine, where you could ship it to your door.
Very good.
Liquor.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you have to go old school. You have to go actually buy it in the state, travel back.
It's awesome.
Right. So this is cool. It's some guys that actually protected us in ways that we probably don't even know about. So I'm going to give.
I can't wait to shout them out this week because you know what? That's exactly the kind of guys you want to support, right?
Right.
Oh,
If all things being equal, I give this one the thumbs up because of the soldiers that put their life on the line for us to be able.
It's got a badass label on it too.
No, it does. It looks good. Here's cheers.
Hey, cheers to the soldiers.
Cheers to the horse soldiers.
Cheers to the guys that protect all of us, right?
Yeah, amen to that.
Especially these boys.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Having said that, is it interesting as the first time I've noticed in the studio, Brad, you have a light back there.
That's Perry's.
That has a leg on it.
Yeah, we molded that leg after Perry's size. His when he showed up.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
When he showed up in my house this past Halloween, Omar, and I'm sure maybe if you watched any previous episodes.
No, let's hope he hasn't seen it.
I think he's probably more intellectual than that.
Yeah, he's like, I got more things to do.
So can I tell Omar the real story? My wife said, how fun would it be if we went to Halloween and I dressed up as Hugh Hefner and you dress up as a Playboy bunny? And my wife is about 5'2". Okay, she's tiny. So she dressed up as Hugh Hefner, and I dressed up as a Playboy bunny.
That dildo was 5.2. I gotta be honest.
Somehow, I'm 6'3". I go 250, 255. She found shoes that fit me. She found fishnets, stockings that fit me, a blue jumpsuit. I have no idea where she found this stuff, but she did.
Wow.
So it's made for some great photos, and I take I take a lot of shit from Brad.
So we are starting our only subscription service for Perry. If you want to see the behind the scenes transformation,
I think he was saying OnlyFans subscription there, right?
Yeah, we tried to do OnlyFans. We got denied 6 times.
We can't defeat their security.
So I was curious if that lamp back there was Perry's leg.
It is Perry's leg, yeah.
And
the shoes are only a size 9, though. I gotta be honest.
Oh God,
they wouldn't fit on the table.
I'm
otherwise.
not so sure. I don't know that my heels were quite that high. Those are pretty high.
So Omar, over the years in
but
business,
moving on to far more
ratios.
Intellectual topics like Omar.
I was going to go into that with Omar, and we were going to talk about ratios and. Under the business heading, ratios of bourbon to the intellect of the conversation.
Right.
You can see those are directly proportional, right?
very good.
Yeah. Negatively proportional.
As you slip down the slippery slope.
Oh, good.
Off into the fifth segment.
So
This is only the fourth segment, Brad.
I know. It feels like it's, honest to goodness, this is other than when having Eric on, this is the most intellectual segment because Omar, you just exuberate greatness. You know that?
Thank you.
No, you do. So
very fortunate.
So now that you've had a couple of bourbons, share with us a story that you can share with us. And I'm not asking you to, if we have to cut it tomorrow morning.
All right.
I understand. This is not live, right?
All right.
So share a couple stories with us that you think our listeners would just be captivated by.
Yeah.
Over the years that.
All right. I'll share with you a funny story.
Yeah.
A good story. So when I owned the health clubs in Westwood, I had Hugh Hefner had the Playboy Mansion, right?
Oh, I know Hugh. I'm married to him.
Perry sparked it.
Yeah. He came back to life.
He did come back to life. At least the bunnies did.
Yeah. So he had a movie day every Sunday. And so I gave which was smart of me, gave all the Playboy bunnies memberships to my clubs. And then I gave all the managers.
So you didn't charge them anything?
No.
Oh,
And I gave all the managers.
Brilliant.
It's like the happy hour.
All the managers at the Playboy Club and the mansion, I gave them all memberships. So, including Hugh Hefner. So, he says, "Oh, I'm going to invite you to the house." I'm like, "Wow, that's a big deal." Because
Did you go to the house?
yeah,
Been to the Playboy Mansion.
to the
Yeah.
house.
You've been to the Mecca of the house.
so
I know. all
I
of you-
didn't think we need to cut and just talk off
we
air
need
for a
to
little
cut.
bit.
No. For those of you that are listening right now, I'm bowing. For
So
those of
am
you
I.
that's
So you were-
watching,
So am I.
Did you actually get down into the Angrata? You know,
So let me tell you-
I was gonna say.
so he invites me to the house.
Yeah.
Right? And he says, "Do me a favor. Do you have a white linen suit?" I says, "Yes, I have one white linen suit." In fact,
It's in the back of my Lamborghini. I carry it with me everywhere. I go.
I literally had a white linen suit, and he says, "Wear that suit." I was very tan.
Yeah,
and
you always are.
And I'm no, but I was like, I was like,
You been staying out of the sun lately? I'm gonna be honest.
no, I don't. So I show up, and he says, I go to the Playboy Mansion, and he says, "Go with it," and I go, "Okay," and he says, I get there, and he says, "I want to introduce to you in front of all the playmates at the pool. There's all these beautiful women, and there was all these celebrities." He says, "I want to introduce you, Omar Sharif's son." Well, I'm not Omar Sharif's son, but my name's Omar.
It's pretty close.
He says,
you were gonna deny that, were you?
he says,
You had it half right.
he says, "Just go with it."
I was like,
Right?
because listen, I'm right behind you.
I went with it. All I can tell you is I had the best summer of my life.
I bet it was. I mean, that doesn't compare to my summer.
So you hung out at the Playboy Mansion all summer.
Toast to you.
Here's to you, right?
Funny.
Rest in peace.
Funny, somebody said this is Brad Pitt's cousin. No, I'm not. Just go with it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what he said.
So you hung out at the Playboy Mansion all summer.
I used to go like every Sunday for a while.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
rough. That's rough.
Yeah, it was a good
Sunday fun days, right?
And that guy, he was a salesman. That guy, he was a good guy.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Oh, he's a marketing genius.
no, he was a marketing
Well,
genius.
yeah.
And listen, I appreciate Hugh for being in his pajamas all day because that's kind of what I do, but I don't get paid for doing it. That's just what I do.
Yeah.
But I do dress up when I come up. I need to, when you have a distinguished guest like yourself or a dapper Dan,
Yeah, I forgot
like
my jacket. I would've worn it,
no, you are you are one of the most
That's
impressive.
an awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
No, it's a great story. So
Yeah.
I mean, and he's a cultural icon.
Yeah.
Whether people were into the magazines or not.
Well,
everybody knows who Hugh Hefner.
well, clearly, since you and Nikki
Yeah.
showed up at my Halloween party,
yeah. She dressed up. She had a
Hugh and
She had a
That was
strap?
another great story.
right.
She had a strap on. It was
No, and I told you the strap on was as big as her. It was 5'2".
yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's kind of crazy.
Should have seen how that went that night. Let me tell
And
you.
it was her idea?
It was her idea. Yeah.
Her idea, yeah.
So she bought me these prosthetic breasts. They were actually
Maybe she
they
wanted
were
something.
I know, right?
they were beautiful.
Message.
I think that was a hint for Christmas, right?
Actually, you might be right.
You totally missed that, Perry.
I know you come
So-
near that one.
So my wife is Sicilian, as we were talking about Sicilian.
That's why
earlier.
she had the
Finally,
She's
sauce.
Sicilian.
another one of
Yeah.
my countrymen.
Yeah,
That's why she had the thing.
Yeah, she.
Thing.
The sausage.
yeah.
Thing. Yeah.
So trust me, I sleep with one eye open.
Yeah,
every
you
night.
talk about sleeping on the right or left side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
was
that
a good
joke?
story. Yeah. I told
joke.
you
That was a
yesterday.
great joke.
Yeah.
You got to tell a joke.
All right.
All
Want me
right.
to tell a joke?
I want to hear a joke.
It's a great golf joke. Yeah, everybody's got to listen.
So there's a lot of golfers here. So this guy pulls into a country club with the moving van, and the guys see the door open in the back, and they see golf clubs, and they go, "Wow, he's got golf clubs. We need a fourth." So he says, they said to him, "Hey, would you like to play golf tomorrow?" He says, "Yes." Okay, yeah, but I might be a little late.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Okay." So guy shows up early, and he's a lefty. Takes out his golf clubs. He's a lefty. They play golf. He kicks their ass. They go to the clubhouse. They have a great time. They're going back, and they said to him, "That was great. Thank you so much. We're going to play tomorrow. Would you like to play with us?" He goes, "Well, yeah, but I might be a little late." So he shows up and on time, he's got his righty clubs. So left, right, he kicks their ass. They go to the clubhouse and they're like, "Hey, we love playing with you, but left hand you kick our ass, right hand you kick our ass, and then you always say you're going to be a little late.
Yeah.
And he says, well, if I wake up in the morning and my wife's on her left side, she's my lucky charm. So I know I need to use my left hand clubs, right? If I wake up and she's on her right side, I know she's my lucky charm. I got to use my right hand clubs. And if she's on her back, well, I'm going to be a little late.
Yeah, that's right.
That's pretty good.
Wow, this may have devolved just a tad from collectively 36 books and an Emmy, right?
This is now R-rated.
Yeah, we are on it.
We're R-rated.
We are on it.
Yeah,
No, it's okay.
yeah.
We are explicit. We're the only.
You can say whatever you
that's what
want.
sets us apart from all the other tech nerdy podcasts that are out there. Nobody wants to listen to these guys go data. It's more.
You just call them all nerds.
Yeah, I did call them all nerds.
That would
Yeah, right.
We're only in the fourth segment.
Fourth segment.
Wait, but you know where we are in lubricity?
Oh, we are right at the
approaching
crest.
We are
maximum.
optimized.
I told
and-
Gary he's going to have 2. That's it.
Yeah.
That was 1 ago.
That was 20. That was 1 ago.
1 ago.
I know.
But size matters.
Gary, I think they nailed me on this.
I think we did.
Look at this. Look at it. I don't know.
The horse soldier took him right across the line. I mean,
Pay me a text.
Somebody should have probably warned Omar to not let Brad
Yeah.
pour his drink for him.
well, yeah, I'm honored.
Yeah, that was a great. By the
He's
way, it's very
generous.
good though. The horse soldier's very good.
The
Yeah.
thermometer's down. The spirits are up.
That's it.
And when we come back,
The fifth segment.
the fifth segment, the ultimate segment, is we're the full office sizing.
The what?
What?
Maybe we're in the fifth segment.
I need some help from my buddy Lou, but we'll be back.
We'll be back after these messages.
We coming back.
Coming back to my ED meds, where together we
we
rise.
rise.
If you advise clients on AI, data, privacy, or cybersecurity law, you cannot afford to miss a development. And right now, developments are happening ever so quickly. Docket Daily tracks every AI, data, privacy, and cybersecurity legal development across all 50 states, D.C., and the federal government, and delivers to you every morning an updated, curated, attorney-reviewed digest. Proposed bills, enacted laws, regulations, court opinions, executive orders, every jurisdiction, every day, as well as the news headlines. Stop guessing what you missed. Start your free 2-week trial subscription today.
And we are back. And you know what segment it is. It is the fifth
Segment 5.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Eric, for putting the on-air on, because we know I have misstepped without knowing that we were online.
Well, but in fairness, none of those missteps have ever seen the light of day.
I know, but I just want to make sure
We
that
keep those for our own humor.
Yeah, those are the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know?
We are live. We're recording. This is going to make air.
Yeah, this is making air. So let's make air.
But before we get a little bit silly here, I
Yeah.
do have one question, because
Yeah.
we've talked a lot, Omar, about your life in California and all that fun stuff, and once again the Playboy Mansion visit.
Yeah.
My hero,
Yeah, that's
man.
pretty legit.
That's a
You
pretty good
and I-
summer. It was
you and I
95.
you and I being the Medicare card holders here, these young guys wouldn't even get that. But
I tried, but they denied me.
right.
I'm disabled, but I can't get the Medicare yet.
but no. I tried.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so when did you make your transition geographically from the West Coast to the East Coast and become the? I know you said that who's that dude out there at the Playboy Mansion?
Hugh Hefner.
Oh, you talking about Hugh?
Hugh Hefner. Yeah.
Who's that dude?
Dude.
Do I even know you?
The only dude. I mean, there's only one dude, right?
God, it's like I don't even know you, Louis.
He doesn't have any dudes
No,
around.
I just
it's just
had
him
that,
and
one of those moments. But he asked you to wear a white linen suit, and you said you were tan, right? So
I
this
was
is back
tan.
when you had your game. You were on your
Yeah, I was
game, right?
younger.
When did you? And that was the West Coast.
Right.
Tell me about how you're now in Boca and
Right.
in Florida. When did you transition across?
Across, yeah.
Forget that. Let me revert. When did you move across country?
Okay, so what happened
Luis.
is I was going, my parents lived in Boca Raton, Florida, and my family at the
Nice.
time. So I got married, and I thought it'd be a great place to raise the kids because I thought California was too crazy. So that's why I moved to Florida, but I kept a home in California up until 2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years
So,
ago.
yeah.
Really?
Just in case you wanted to get crazy again.
Well, no, it's just because I love the weather there. I mean, they're
yeah.
from June. If you're in Florida, you don't want to be there June, July, August,
No.
October, November. But the kids, the moment they were done, June 3rd, we were out on a plane, and we'd come back. They started school August 23rd. We'd be back the 21st.
Well,
There you go.
That's
So
the truth.
yeah.
When just staying a summer in Naples,
Yeah.
my dogs would just, I'd take them out for a little walk and they would just
Oh.
collapse.
Yeah, well, yeah,
The heat,
the humidity,
yeah, and
the rain, the
it's
thunderstorm
it's next-
scares them,
next level, right?
lightning, yeah,
there's nothing pleasant about it.
yeah.
What year
So
did you move over?
full time, 2001.
So were you Don Johnson before Don Johnson was Don
No,
Johnson
no,
in
no.
South Florida?
Did you
No.
ever meet Don Johnson?
No, I've not.
I know you
No,
met.
no. Don Johnson has not met Omar.
I know
No.
that's exactly that's the more appropriate question. Has
He's-
Don Johnson met?
He's had a
Omar?
great run. That guy. He's,
Oh, he has.
He's a great. I mean, done very
Back
well.
in the days of Miami Vice, that was a pretty cool gig down in South Florida. There were three things I wanted to be in life.
What?
I wanted to be an NFL kicker. I wanted to be James Bond. I wanted to be on Miami Vice.
Wow.
Well,
I'm surprised he didn't say he wanted to be a BG.
well,
No,
Bee Gees.
can I tell you?
I
How
would.
do you know my? I am the ultimate Bee Gees fan.
Oh, I know. I love
Without
the
a
Bee Gees.
doubt. The
Who does
Bee
not love the
Gees.
Bee Gees?
So you know they owned Criteria Studios at one time in Miami,
Did not know
and
that.
I did some demos there. Demos, as you know, is what you
Did you?
create. Yeah, the demos is what you create to get a record contract. So I went to Criteria. They owned it. I didn't meet them, but I saw them. But boy, they were so talented.
Oh, they were.
Unbelievable.
that-
Think about it.
that
you know,
epi- that epi-
Saturday night,
right? All the
Staying
songs.
Alive.
Right.
They did all these. I mean, these guys were like
So when they did that,
amazing harmonies.
yeah, when they did just the acoustic harmonies in that talk show, it's a YouTube video. It's out there. You look it up,
Yeah.
and
There was too much heaven, right? Was that the song?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
All of them had
Yeah.
great
And-
voices.
Perry,
and they just-
I'm
they
telling
just
you, if you
asked them
can't
to-
get action to that song, you're
No.
dead.
Right?
Or you need.
Yeah. Together we rise. I know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
They were unbelievable.
no, but
Yes.
that moment when they just sua sponte went into
Yeah.
their acoustic.
Yeah, they were very talented.
I mean,
they
it was-
still Barry's still alive.
Barry's
He's the only one
he's a
left.
surviving.
But they
Yeah, Maurice passed away, and
Yeah.
who was
Yeah.
the other brother?
great voices, great harmonies.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And he had that falsetto where he could flip up to that high voice.
Yeah.
So crazy.
All of them had great
Crazy
voices.
good.
They still
Perry and I have an epiphany for music, right, Bear?
nice.
We
A what?
Well, I don't know if epiphany is the right word. I would say obsession. Is
yeah, that's
probably-
probably where better.
So, what's your favorite band? What your
Led Zeppelin. We
Led
talked.
Zeppelin?
We talked about that.
All right.
Yeah. So I
Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd.
I do think
well,
Led.
I can't. That's why I can't believe you said the Bee Gees, because the Bee
Right.
Gees and Earth, Wind, and Fire for me are 1-2.
Right.
Very
Oh,
close,
God.
1-2.
Both.
Well, trust me.
Come on.
Amazing.
Anytime I'm at the pool bar with Louis, he goes, "Can we get some Earth, Wind, and Fire on here?"
No.
Oh, you know, my one of my offices in California, Earth, Wind, and Fire had their office right above me. So I'd see
No
them
way.
Oh, that's
They are.
crazy.
Terry
good.
White and that.
It is music
guys
that
could
just
sing.
makes you feel right.
Yeah.
It's not a message other than
But isn't that what music's supposed to do?
Yes.
But isn't
Yeah.
that what a good
100%.
message and music's supposed to do? Is just make you feel right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, you're right. No matter what genre it is.
Here's
But,
another one,
Yeah, the
Louis.
Bee Gees.
ABBA.
Oh, well,
Another one.
Okay.
I was not an
Talk
ABBA
about
guy.
You
but
talk
they-
about harmonies.
but they just came back.
Well, what about the Beatles and Paul McCartney?
Oh, Paul.
Oh yeah.
The guy's amazing.
Is he not?
He's still going.
I know.
He did I couldn't believe it. I was doing
And he's in his
speech.
70s, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
Late
80s.
80s, yeah.
Amazing.
He did a concert at Palm Springs, California, and I was in Newport Beach doing a speech, and I didn't see it, or I would have gotten there.
Yeah.
Because I've been to a bunch of his concerts. He's amazing.
Hey, I'm going to give
When you
guys,
go to his concerts, everybody's singing every word to every song.
And that's the best compliment, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you guys one that nobody really thinks about
All right,
because it wasn't one of those.
Throw it out there.
I was in business in Los Angeles. I'm going to go back maybe 10, 12 years ago, and I got to go to the Hollywood Bowl. Rod Stewart.
Oh, well,
Wow.
No,
And I'm going to tell you,
that's a favorite of my wife.
there were songs I'm like, I didn't think that.
Yeah.
I didn't think that. I didn't think that. But
His catalog.
he was cranking it out.
His
and
catalog is-
my man was on stage, had a glass of wine in one hand and three singers over on this side, and he was kicking soccer balls at the Hollywood Bowl.
Wow.
It was the
They've
two
been like
most
you.
awesome
They've
concerts.
been like you singing, doing 100-yard sprints.
That's it. I'd kill myself at the Hollywood
And maybe
Bowl.
a hurdle
right
or
on
two in
stage.
between.
Yeah.
You just
I'm
want to
gonna
throw
tell
an extra challenge
Yeah.
into it.
So I got a Hollywood Bowl story
Sure,
for you.
okay, give it
So,
to us.
one of my mentors was my partner in the health clubs, and he knew I studied. I'm a lyric tenor.
Yeah.
I love opera.
Yeah.
I'm an opera buff.
Oh, my cousin is an opera savant. She,
Oh, well.
University of Chicago. She teaches there now.
Oh, wow. So my mentor knows I love Pavarotti, so he sets up this whole thing.
Italian.
We had a limit. We had at the health. So Pavarotti's one of my favorite lyric tenors, and I'm a tenor. So he gets tickets for my father and I, and we owned a limousine company at the health clubs because great place to get a limo, right?
Right.
So we had like the health clubs, we had limousines. So
Who doesn't want sweaty men just climbing in?
yeah, so we got my dad and I go, and we're gonna go see Pavarotti. And my father is like, he's like the last of the last. My dad was the last of the hot Cuban lovers.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
it. No, you are.
No.
Come on.
My dad. My dad. Listen to this.
Omar, don't let it die.
No, you don't let it down. You have
No,
to.
listen to this.
You don't
My dad-
legacy change.
No. My dad used to say, "You're good looking, but I was better looking."
Oh,
Yeah. He says, when I walked into a room, the women would tremble.
yeah.
And my mom goes, "Ay, Dios mío." He goes, "You tremble too."
Yeah, you did too.
So,
and you came right to me.
So yeah, that's right. So anyway, long story short, my mentor gets this limousine to take me and my dad to the Hollywood Bowl, gets us the box seats in the front. I'm not kidding you. I mean, we were in the front row, Pavarotti, and we were drinking champagne in the limousine. My dad's not a big drinker. So we're drinking champagne.
But that'll do it, right?
We're having a good time. So we go to the Hollywood Bowl. We got box seats in the front, and my dad's like, he's Cuban. He's like, "Coño," to speak English was, "Coño, look over here is Barbara Streisand,
Yeah.
Look over here, Burt Reynolds, look over." So it's all these celebrities. Like everywhere you look, celebrities, right? And we're drinking champagne. So I'm like, more champagne. So we got the champagne coming. We got like a table. We got like a box for like 6 people. It's just him and I. And we got so
You got plenty of room for champagne.
it was amazing. So we're like drinking. Well, then we're not big drinks. So we're on our ass now, right? So they come out. I don't know if you guys have ever been to any of those things at the Hollywood Bowl. They bring out the symphony first, right?
Yeah.
And they warm up. So they'll
I
do
appreciate that. I told
they
you
do-
I dragged my bass trombone. I was in the Denver.
Right.
I was first trombone in the Denver Junior Symphony. So
Nice.
I appreciate these stories.
So they warm up.
Of course,
before the singer comes
Of
out.
course.
So they do like a whole.
I appreciate exactly what these guys are going through.
So they warm up and do like a whole song, right? And so my dad and I are like on our ass. We got bottles of Dom Perignon, just pouring it.
You're pouring the good stuff.
Oh yeah, we're pouring.
It's not the cheap stuff.
You're spitting them out, right?
So my dad and I were very close. We had a lot of fun, and so
I love it.
We get out there, and Pavarotti comes out, and and my dad's standing up, and everybody's looking at him because we're. It's like, all these celebrities, right? Johnny Cars, all these people, like everybody's around us. And they're like, and my dad stands up and my dad, sit down.
Sit down.
So
he hit the floor.
Pavarotti starts singing Nessun Dorma. Nessun Dorma, Nessun Dorma. Anyway,
Wait. No.
Keep going.
I'm not going to sing now. Hold on.
No, sing it.
So no, I'm not. I
Omar,
don't.
go with that. Let's hear that.
No.
Let's go into
So anyway, he sings the song. My dad jumps up, yells out in Spanish, "Cojones." That means like,
You're horny. Yeah, I know what that means. I don't even talk Spanish, but I know what those mean.
Goes like this, because we're right there. He goes like this. My dad knocks the bottle of Dom Perignon. The bottle, it's a concrete floor.
Yeah.
Goes
Crash.
Ding, 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 all the way down. They come up. Everybody's rushing in. Pavarotti's like, my dad. Standing up, everyone else sitting down. Cojones, where he's like crazy. I'm like, Dad. He sits down. They bring us plastic cups.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
The bottle comes out.
Plastic bottle of Dom Perignon.
We got like a plastic jar, plastic cups, and they're like, so the whole night, everybody's looking at it. We had a great. That was one of the nights I'll never forget. My father. That was.
What was your father? Was your father Omar as
No,
well?
my father's name Eduardo Santiago Periu.
Oh, that's
Great
name.
Eduardo.
Eduardo, not Eduardo. Eduardo.
Eduardo.
Yeah. He's a great guy. Just a lot of fun. Yeah, good.
My dad
sounds like
was
a good
Francesco
Yeah.
Thomas
We had a blast.
Scarbo. Kind of started out very Italian and ended up very just plain bread. It's like started out Italian bread, ended up white bread.
Well, like Louis says, you just count 1 to 30 every day.
The life of a pharmacist.
I know, right?
Okay, it's a pharmacy joke, guys.
You want to pull up the cup?
It's one pill a day. It's one pill a day, unless you're going to myedmeds.com, where you take one if and when you need it.
We're
Hopefully
together.
you need it every day. You know where you get this, Perry?
From myedmeds.com.
myedmeds.com.
We're together. We ride.
Rise.
Omar, these
The
stories are
shameless
awesome.
promoter. I love you, Louis.
I do. Yeah, Louis.
I am today's Italian version of PT. If PT Barnum was Italian, what was his name? PT Barnini.
He'd be walking in with 3 clowns and 4 ladies with beards and a couple ED pills, and he would be at a party.
Show him the outfit.
A beard and an ED pill is not a good combo.
I draw the line at bearded women. Sorry.
Well, you opened up the PT.
First
You
date
opened
right
up the
there.
PT Barnum. Mitch.
Omar, I'm going to tell you, Parrish, if there's a 6'1" hottie that shows up with legs like that,
Oh, you're right.
that doesn't have
I
nuts,
think you're still thinking about
yeah,
it.
No,
well, if it
he
doesn't have
definitely.
nuts, I'm in.
I think so too, Omar.
6'3", Lou. 6'3".
6'3".
He's downsizing those legs.
You got that photo memory.
And those.
Yeah. So that things you can't unsee.
What do they call that?
The Polaroid.
They call that.
Polaroid memory picture.
They call that. What do they call that?
6'3", 250. You better slim your ass down.
What do they call that? What do they call that, Barry? You know what they call that?
No, yeah, I call it. I'm hiding from the rest of you for the rest of my life.
You better watch out. He's be knocking at your door.
I'm a little bit worried about that.
Yeah.
No, you're cool.
Yeah.
You're good.
You have all 4
Thanks,
Louis
Louis.
cones following you.
She's covered up.
Omar, they're killing me here, man. We started out as an interesting
Let's go somewhere else.
Where do we go with this? We started out talking about
All right.
I think we should. Let's go back to like motivation and goals.
Is that? Can we go back there right now?
I don't think so. It's over.
Oh, my brother being here and enjoying the lubricity level. I mean, that is the fifth segment. That's our bourbon.
That's funny.
So
Forget about goals.
I know, right? So we are coming back to center, of course, but we are coming back to Perry's size 13 stilettos and ripped stockings.
You said we were coming back to center.
All right, well,
so.
Let's be respectful to Omar.
Yeah, no, it's silly fun stuff. So
Yeah.
All that in, we have the Tanya taste left, which is the maybe on the bourbonometer. That's the.
it's a very last.
I don't want to say the last inch that we give Tanya.
It's
But
it.
There's usually this much left in the bottle, and Brad's wife Tanya.
Well, she is the original bourbon connoisseur in our family. She's the one that got me into bourbon before Greg, and Greg got me into bourbon. So
What did he say?
Greg Cephas.
Greg Cephas and Greg Prebish, yeah.
Oh, the Greg. That last
We're
little
running
sip
out
will
of time
be
here.
for
What's
Tanya.
the coolest car you've ever driven?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
How about owned?
my favorite car I've owned was a 720S McLaren.
Ooh.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
That thing,
Damn, it's not an Italian car.
well, I love 488 Ferraris. I've got two of them.
Okay, now we're back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I own right now a Lamborghini Urus, which is Italian. Lamborghini.
It's very
Remember
Italian.
Ferrari, Lamborghini. Remember?
They
know
were-
the story?
They were at my baptism.
Yeah, they were.
Enzo Ferrari and Giuseppe.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, obviously.
They were
No,
great cousins, though. I mean, they hasn't talked to him since.
I'm just joking.
You know the story.
Lou,
I
have you
don't.
followed?
So the story is,
Tell me the story.
Enzo Ferrari, of course, is Ferrari's amazing.
Right?
Right? Greatest car builder, right? Italian car builder. And Lamborghini built tractors. So he
right.
wanted Enzo, according to the story, to build him a car. And Enzo didn't want to build the exact car he wanted to build. So he said, screw it, I'll start my own company. And that's where Lamborghini was built.
Is that right?
Really?
That's
I
what-
didn't know that.
that's how Lamborghini started.
Well, there's a
Well, I
I
can
knew they
appreciate
built
that because
little
my
factoid.
knew they built
grandfather was a trailer builder for farm tractors. So
Really?
a welder. So came over, and that's how he made his business. You know,
Right.
Hey, Brad, it was so interesting listening in the audience to the first couple sections and you telling about your family history in Wisconsin and the
great.
Midwest. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And your family's history from Cuba, and you went out to LA and did it.
No, but that's-
I've never left Western Pennsylvania. So for me, this is awesome to hear
Well,
how you
now
guys.
you are.
No, well, I'm hoping we're going big time. No pun intended. Well, maybe pun intended. No, it's really cool to hear about your family histories from.
You better get with.
I know.
I'm done. I tried to blend Wisconsin. I tried to blend Wisconsin
try.
cheddar into Cuban.
You know what trying means?
Yeah.
What?
Failure with honor.
Failure
Right,
with honor.
failure with honor.
Right.
And,
Well-
that's a message we should all just cheers and leave on this beautiful evening with.
That and fail forward.
No. I think
forward, faster.
no. I think
Faster.
everybody needs to take that from this whole. What was it? 3 F's. Phil.
Forward faster.
faster.
Oh,
Omar,
No, thank you, Omar, so much for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're a gentleman. You're a scholar. You are a mentor to many
Thank you.
that have the honor of you being that.
Thank you.
Just like
He truly is.
no, and just like you did when you were growing up, and the stories were wonderful. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And it has batted my Italian glass.
Better save that glass.
I know, but
what did your dad say to Pavarotti?
Coño, cojones.
Sones?
Coño,
I think we
cojones.
should leave it at that. 'cause
We'll leave it at
that's what
that.
We all want.
Coño, cojones.
Cheers.
Thank you, Omar. Great.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, boys.
Appreciate you. Cheers.
Thanks. Cheers.
This has been Bourbon with Brad. Be sure to like and follow. Cheers.
The views and opinions shared on the Bourbon with Brad podcast are our own and those of our guests. Nothing we discuss should be taken as financial, legal, business, or gambling advice. Don't make investment, business, or betting decisions based on our conversations, as you should always talk to a qualified professional. Always drink responsibly, never drink and drive, and only consume alcohol if you are of legal drinking age.